106 FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Dangerous rain and flooding swamping several states. Dryle Newland is the fire chief in Crooksville, Indiana, outside Columbus.
Luckily, in the village of Crooksville, I don't believe we've had any injuries or fatalities out of this. There's a lot of property damage.
Parts of Indiana got a foot of rain, and more is in the forecast. New York's Attorney General Letitia James says she is investigating whether plans to outfit ICE agents with gloves that can deliver electric shocks would be legal in the state.
But it appears to be arbitrary and capricious. It appears to be in violation of a number of laws, including our Constitution.
Some congressional Democrats are now demanding that a congressional delegation be allowed on the USS Abraham Lincoln amid reports of dismal conditions on the aircraft carrier. Several reports say multiple service members have tried to jump overboard after describing issues like moldy showers and food shortages. 2 soldiers killed after their chopper crashed near Fort Hood, Texas. This is ABC News. Reaction continuing to come in to Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley's victory over Democratic Socialist Francesca Hong in the Wisconsin gubernatorial primary. ABC's Jay O'Brien.
This was largely a comeback victory, if you will, for the party establishment. It was a stinging blow to progressives, and it comes amid this overall context of this kind of battle for the soul of the Democratic Party that's been playing out for months.
An 8-year-old boy from Pennsylvania reeling in a truly unexpected catch while fishing with his dad at a lake just outside Philadelphia. Michael Coffey wasn't sure what his son Seamus had caught, but Seamus knew.
I was like, oh, it's like a bluegill. I don't know what this is. And he said, it's a piranha.
The little boy asked by a reporter.
How'd you know it was a piranha?
Because I watch YouTube.
Because I watch YouTube. The piranha is a scavenger freshwater fish typically found in South American lakes and rivers. Likely someone dumped the exotic fish into the lake where it was found. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It is 6:02 and we've got cloudy skies, 76 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. We also have rain in parts of the area. We'll get to that forecast in just about 10 minutes. After going missing during the early Wednesday morning hours in South City yesterday, a 2-year-old has been found alive.
Janila Hewley was reported missing by her mother when she woke up to find her gone from her bed and their front door left open. St. Louis City Police spokesman Mitch McCoy says police used all resources available to search for Hewley and a homeless woman only identified as Ashley, who witnesses say was spotted with the child during the overnight hours. According to McCoy, a neighbor spotted Ashley with the child during their search and flagged down a nearby FBI agent. McCoy wouldn't rule out charges, but shared what information he had about why the woman was with the child and did not notify the parents or law enforcement.
The information is still very early, and I don't want to speculate as to why that woman had the child. But what I do know is that apparently the woman just woke up and then started realizing that there was a lot of commotion going on.
McCoy wouldn't rule out charges for the parents either, who told law enforcement Hewley has escaped out the front door before. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Maplewood firefighters responding to an apartment fire this morning that temporarily displaced 20 residents. The fire is out now, but according to Fox 2, it left extensive damage to the second and third floors of an apartment complex in the 2100 block of Bellevue. No serious injuries reported. One person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The cause is not known yet, but it apparently started on the second floor and then spread to the third.
A Cole County judge rules the Missouri redistricting referendum and a constitutional amendment limiting legislative power to alter laws passed by the initiative will be going to trial. The Missouri Independent reports Judge Daniel Green ordered the hearings after Secretary of State Denny Hoskins blocked them from a statewide vote.
State law has a September 8th deadline for court orders adding questions to the ballot. As KMOX has reported, the group People Not Politicians challenged Hoskins' claim that a statewide vote is not required for redistricting plans. If the judge orders a statewide vote, it will be on the November 3rd ballot as Amendment 6.
Did AI help write the AI infrastructure framework presented by the Missouri House Future Caucus on Tuesday? While lawmakers presenting the document denied using AI tools, a check of the document's metadata lists OpenAI as the author of the document. State Representative and Caucus Chair Colin Wellenkamp.
We used templates to give us a baseline framework, and then we added in the information that we got from our own testimony that we supervised. I can tell you this, I did not use any kind of AI tool.
The document is intended to help communities inform themselves on the potential impacts AI infrastructure projects might have on their city.
Voters in Chesterfield will see a proposed 46-cent operating tax levy increase on the November ballot. The Parkway Board of Education voting unanimously yesterday for that increase, which the board says is necessary to support the district's staff, classroom resources, and long-term financial stability.
Parkway says the district's operating costs have risen faster than its revenue in the past 2 years, resulting in a projected $75 million funding shortfall over the next 10 years. The board's vote comes after months of community meetings and resident feedback on the increase.
St. Louis Public Schools continuing to push back a vote on their consolidation plan. The school board was scheduled to vote on the Future Ready plan in August, but pushed that back to October following continued questions by parents and staff at recent community meetings. The Post-Dispatch reports that vote is now scheduled for October 13th. Another community feedback meeting will be held Monday at 5 at Carlane VPA Middle School.
A bill was signed into law in Illinois in late July aiming to support students experiencing homelessness. An official with St. Louis County says the region doesn't have any initiatives as robust as that piece of legislation, even with the region's high levels of homelessness. We get more from Jade Aubrey.
The bill in Illinois allows schools to buy motels for homeless students if the price of the motel is lower than how much it costs a school bus to pick a student up, as temporary homeless shelters in Illinois are often located far from school districts. Acting Director for St. Louis County Department of Human Services, Kevin McKenna, says the only similar initiative in St. Louis is the Continuum of Care, which connects homeless students and their families with available housing resources.
Typically what happens is if a student is in need of services, they're connected through our Continuum of Care agencies and plugged into our coordinated entry management system. And this gives us a way to track the progress of that individual, see what sort of supports they're eligible across the continuum, and hopefully get them into a better place.
Jade Aubrey, KMOX News.
It is 6:07, and we'll take a break here. And when we come back, take a look at traffic and our continuing steamy weather. That extreme heat warning has been extended now through 9 p.m. Saturday night. It's 6:07.
There's nothing like hearing your friends and family clearly. A grandchild's laugh, conversation with a friend, or the punchline to a joke. Charlie Brennan here with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. Dr. Bosler and her team understand that hearing is personal. That's why you'll always work with certified audiologists like Adam Voss, Bailey Campbell, and Dr. Colleen Bosler.
That's right, Charlie. We offer hearing aids from all major manufacturers, so our recommendations are based on what fits you best. With us, we follow best practice fitting methods to ensure your hearing aids are programmed precisely for your unique hearing needs. But our care doesn't end when you walk out the door. As we know, hearing aids require continued support, adjustments, and maintenance, and we offer these services at no extra cost to you. Because better hearing isn't just about devices, it's about reconnecting to the moments that matter most. Call us today at 636-441-7470 or visit us online at theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
Let's check the roads. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, the only place we currently have a problem right now, Tom, is Highway 55. It still looks like it's raining down in the Imperial area, and we have this stall that's still in the left center lane, northbound 55, just north of the Imperial on-ramp. North 55 also has delays Coming through McNutt, we had a crash north of McNutt closer to the Joachim Creek, so it's still bogged down through that area. And then the stall just north of Imperial is causing delays back to about Highway M. It also looks a little slow right through the Richardson Road area, but after that sorts itself out, and it's a good run up to 270. 270, we were seeing delays earlier north of Tesson Ferry. Those have thinned out. Obviously, the rain's not as intense. They cleared that crash westbound 44 Big Bend. They also cleared the incident we had southbound 178 Airport Road. Everything looks good there, and the rest of the highways look good in the construction zones. 70 out west coming in from Wentzville, 64 southbound 61. Everything good shape headed out of St. Charles County. And on the Illinois side, 55-70 west at 255 is great. 64 looks fine. No delays across the bridges downtown westbound. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
After a serious car crash, the bills start piling up fast, and the insurance company isn't looking out for you. That's why you need Cantor Injury Law in your corner. Call 314-628-9999 or visit CantorInjuryLaw.com. Injured, you can count on Cantor.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertisements.
An extreme heat warning through 9 p.m. Saturday. Expect AccuWeather real field temperatures to exceed 105 each of the next several afternoons, particularly tomorrow through Sunday. Intervals of clouds and sun, hot and humid for today, with a thunderstorm or two in the area, mainly during the morning hours, or high 94. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm, and very humid. There may be a thunderstorm in spots, low 79. For tomorrow, sunshine, some clouds, very hot and humid, high 98. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We have some clouds and 76 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis.
It's 6:11. Sports coming up in 4 minutes. This Friday, drivers heading into Midtown can expect increased traffic around the SLU campus as new and returning students move into residence halls. Laclede Avenue between Vanaventer and Grand will be closed to normal traffic as new Billikens move in. All vehicles planning to travel on Laclede should approach from Vanaventer toward Grand. The university's parking garage at Grand and Laclede will also be closed to all external traffic and used as an unloading zone for students and their families.
A legal battle between the city of Alton and its mayor is on hold after a last-minute court shakeup. The Riverbender reporting a hearing in the lawsuit filed by Mayor David Goins against the city was scheduled for yesterday, but was postponed indefinitely after an attorney for the city requested a new judge. The dispute centers on a city council ordinance passed while the mayor was absent that wiped out his department appointees. Or appointments. A judge previously issued a temporary restraining order blocking the council from enforcing the rule while the case plays out.
There's been a settlement in the case of Missouri's lawsuit against Dollar General, which has been accused of overcharging customers and violating consumer protection laws. A state investigation found the price on the shelf and the actual price charged at the cash register were often different, with an average overcharge of $2.71. Investigators checked more than 5,000 items. Details of the settlement with the Nashville-based company were not released, but other states have settled similar investigations for as much as $1.7 million.
Patrick Zundel and Dustin Rowe spent years running behind-the-scenes logistics for major local gatherings, including Celebrate St. Louis Under the Arch, Earth Day, and Pedal the Cause. After stepping up to buy the Taste of St. Louis, the pair decided to throw out the old playbook that relied on high vendor fees to cover massive concert budgets.
Zundel outlines their new business strategy for working with kitchens.
We're just looking to maximize the quality of the restaurants that we have, work in partnership with them, and as opposed to kind of using them as just a revenue stream. We'll emphasize the local food as much as we possibly can.
The festival took a heavy financial loss back in 2019 under previous ownership. They are taking this year off to return in 2027.
There are some mixed messages about a new Bears stadium from leaders in Illinois and Indiana. We get more from Andy Dane.
On the Indiana side, no shortage of confidence this week from Governor Mike Braun.
When we get this across the finish line, we're in the due diligence stage. It's going to be one of the biggest things that's ever occurred to our state, not to mention the region.
That echoed similar comments made by Hammond Mayor Thomas McDermott, who said the Bears could share a major update on plans for a new stadium in the coming weeks. Team owner and chairman George McCaskey had a similar message for fans this week and had no news to share about a potential Arlington Heights development. But Governor Pritzker said Monday he still believes the Bears will remain in Illinois and took Braun to task for, quote, making the case that he's winning the Chicago Bears over to Indiana. The governor added, quote, I don't actually think that's happening.
Now, KMOX Sports from the St. Luke's Hospital Sports Desk. St. Luke's, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital.
This is an Alec Burleson appreciation time. Let's start with this, and we'll run some numbers.
The next delivery to him hits him in the foot, and he's not happy about that. That hurt. Got him in a bad spot. He flings his bat down on the ground. And I don't think he's mad at the pitcher. I think he's just mad because it hurts.
Alec Burleson, he's locked in, I'll tell you that. But that hit by pitch got him on base once again. That extended his on-base streak to 14 games, and the slugger might have been upset there. And maybe he took it out on Zach Wheeler here. 5th inning, Cardinals up 2-1.
The pitch to Burleson. He swings and he hits it toward the gap. Center field, that's not going to be caught. The ball gets down, goes to the wall. Here comes a second run on the double by Burleson with Weatherholt and Herrera scoring as the Cardinals have built a 4-1 lead with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
They're trying to win a series against the Phillies, and with that, the 30th double of the season for Alec Burleson. That leads Major League Baseball. And then this.
Early with that big double a couple innings ago, and he grounds that one right side, base hit. And grounding third, trying to score is Weatherholt. The throw comes into third. Everybody's safe, and Burley picks up yet another RBI, his 3rd RBI of the game, and I believe that's 6 runs.
And the Cardinals go on to win 7-1. The 6 runs, of course, set off the on-the-run promotion that the Cardinals broadcast booth is so fond of, and so are we. We can smell the coffee brewing, and the Cardinals win the game 7-1 over the Phillies. That's 84 RBIs for Burleson. He's now tied for 4th in Major League Baseball in that category, tied with Jordan Walker, mind you. And Burley is 4 for his last 5 with runners in scoring position. Now, there was another side to this game, and that was the pitching. It was excellent. Here's Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol with reporters.
What do you take from Kyle's outing and his ability? It's obviously similar to last night. It's hot out there, but what he was able to give you guys again and the consistency that he's had in his last 8-9 starts.
He's going to make you earn it. There's not going to be a ton of free passes with him. And when you look at what he was able to do with the secondary stuff, I mean, he landed the slider 16 out of 17. The sweeper was pretty high percentage as well. Like, he did what he wanted with the baseball today and put it where he wanted. So tough lineup, but he did a really nice job.
Kyle Leahy looks like a starter, doesn't he? 9-4 with a 3.38 ERA. He went 5 innings, gave up 1 run on 6 hits, walked no one, struck out 6. Brule, Graceffo, Gastelum after him, and the Cardinals win another series. They beat the Phillies 7-1. They've won 3 straight series. Day off today. They'll visit the Cubs tomorrow. The Cubs are hot. They're only 3 games out in the division. Alex Bregman blasted 3 home runs for them yesterday in a 12-6 win over the Nationals. The Cubs own the first wild card spot in the NL. Padres own the second. And then it's Arizona and Philly battling it out for the 3rd one, with the Marlins 1.5 games out and the Cardinals 2.5 out. The SLU women's soccer team lost its opener at home to Alabama. Final was 2-1. I'm Tom Ackerman on the home of the Cardinals and Billikens, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm in the air conditioning business. I don't advertise that much. I was leaving a customer's home when I was out in Illinois, and then as I was driving away, my fan for my air conditioner went out. I had to cross back over into St. Louis, where there was bridge construction, so massive rush hour, backed up traffic, windows down, sweating. I had to take it straight to the dealership to drop it off because there's no way I can function, much less work, without air conditioning in my truck. And I'm the same way in my house, and every homeowner, not every homeowner, but most homeowners are the exact same way. So if you're experiencing difficulties with your air conditioner, meaning you have none, call me, Bart Inman, and it's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, Missouri and Illinois. Call me. God bless.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 6:20 and it's kind of rainy in the region. So just take it easy if you're out on the roadways. Roger Brand has the very latest for us from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, the only place we have significant delays is on Highway 55 northbound, Debbie. I see the flatbed arriving now for the stall that's just north of Imperial, Maine. It's in the left center lane. Traffic delays on North 55. First of all, still a little busy at Highway Z, but just north of M to north of Imperial, it's pretty slow. Some of it stop and go northbound 55. After that, there's just a little slowdown north of 141 approaching the Merrimack. So that 55 back up and slowdown between M and Imperial. The biggest issue we have on any of the interstates, once you get up past that point, 55 runs well. North 270 is in great shape coming out of South County. Southbound 61, eastbound 70, and eastbound 64 out of St. Charles County look good. In downtown, still no delays on 55, 70 westbound or 64 westbound through the split across the Poplar and Musial Veterans Bridges. So it's quiet on the Illinois side as well. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
Country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
And it has a yellow lid. Oh, sorry. Extreme
That's
heat.
a peppy little tune. I like it.
I know. I like Duke's Mayonnaise. Extreme heat warning in effect through 9 p.m. Saturday. Temperatures as high as 110 in terms of AccuWeather real feels through the weekend. Intervals of clouds and sun, hot and humid today, high of 94 with a chance of a thunderstorm or two around. And we are seeing some of that around the area right now. Very humid tonight, low 79 with a chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow. More sun than clouds. And hot and humid with a high of 98. Just taking a peek at the radar, that rain is basically around Oakville now up into Lee Arnold also getting very wet. Otherwise, that rain is starting to move out a little bit. Mascoutah is getting some rain this morning at 76 degrees.
The news continues at 6:22, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour of TIAM. Michael Calhoun speaks with retiring Channel 5 news anchor Mike Bush. His last newscast is tonight at 6. Here's a preview of their conversation.
What kind of reflections do you have about your coworkers over the years?
Well, I mean, I was so lucky, and this is certainly one of the reasons. I mean, I fell in love with St. Louis. That's why I never left. I fell in love with the town and the people. But also I got to work with amazing people. So I get to Channel 5, and the anchor team is Dick Ford and Karen Foss, who are two legends in St. Louis and two amazing journalists. And then, of course, Bob Richards was our weather guy, and he and I, had a lot of fun, kind of making fun of each other, and so being surrounded by that environment, and then we had incredibly talented and experienced news reporters. The guys like Mike Owens, and then as time went on, and I kind of established a little foothold in sports. They allowed me to have a say in who we were going to hire, and I was able to bring on, Trey Wingo, who eventually went on to ESPN. And when he left, we got Matt Weiner, and we had Malcolm Briggs. Frank Cusimano really wanted to come to St. Louis. He's a St. Louisan, and he would send me tapes all the time. And when we had an opening, we made sure that we hired him, because I really appreciate passion and someone who just loves St. Louis sports. And he's still as passionate today as he was on the day he walked into the station. So, I do think if you surround yourself with really good people, that will lift you up, whether you deserve it or not. I've been lucky enough to work. I mean, think about the anchors I've worked with when I became a main anchor. First, it was Karen Foss. Then it was Deanne Lane. Kay Quinn, Kelly Jackson, Ann Allred. I get to sit next to them every single night. These are people that really care about the viewers, really are passionate about their jobs, passionate about local journalism, passionate about St. Louis. Because, the thing about local journalists is this is our town. We live here. I've just been very lucky to work with all these great people. I will say this, there's so many people behind the scenes that none of you guys know. Really, they're the ones, if you wanted to see how the sausage is made, they're the ones that make the sausage. And I've been so lucky to work with all of them. 3 people that I'll tell you their names: Scott Sapelza, Eric Voss, and Tom Stasiak. They've been basically the photojournalists that I've worked with the most. And, I work very hard on storytelling and the making a difference stories and trying to raise the level of storytelling when I do those stories. But no matter what script I turn in, those 3 guys were able to take it to a level that I never even dreamed of. So again, these are amazing people who care very much, and I've been very lucky to be surrounded by them.
Well, and a lot of people do know those photographers' names because people in your sports department would often say, with photographer Eric Voss, so-and-so, News Channel 5
Frank
Sports.
is really good about that.
It's time for the cosmic fireworks show known as the Perseids meteor shower.
It's likely that you'll see anywhere from 20 to 30 per hour, which is a fairly significant meteor shower in the cosmic scheme of things. So I would say that it's well worth going out after midnight on the evening of the 12th and the 13th and giving it an hour or two to observe.
Professor Paul Temple runs the Morrison Observatory at Central Methodist University. He tells MissouriNet the best time to watch is between midnight and dawn with a clear view of the sky.
They're all different. They have different colors. They're made up of different particles. Some are green, some are red, some are yellow. And there's even some larger particles that explode and light up the landscape. Those are called bolides. And so this particular meteor shower is one of the better ones you normally get during the years.
The Perseid meteor shower should be visible tonight, assuming we have clear skies, which is probably not going to happen. Sorry.
I want to say a quick thing about Mike Bush. He was, I think, one of the best television personalities the city has ever had. 41 years in this town. He's from Chicago. He could have easily worked in Chicago or any market for that matter, but he made St. Louis his home early on, and he stayed here, and I absolutely love him. We got to be friends when he would have me in on Sports Plus, and I remember the first time I went on TV as an anchor doing Cardinals postgame, and I thought, who do I call to get advice? And I called Mike in his office. And he's like, hey, Tommy. And I said, hey, I'm doing Cardinals postgame for the first time. He goes, wow, that's great. I said, give me one piece of advice for TV. And this was like 20 plus years ago. He goes, this is how you do TV. You look into the camera, and when things are going wrong, and they will, you act as if nothing is going wrong. I'm like, I love it, man.
It's like radio, except you have to think about your face.
Yeah. Think how good this guy has been in 41 years, 18 years on the sports side, 23 years on the news side, consistently excellent. Congratulations, Mike.
And just a very kind person. When I was an intern at Channel 5 and he was in sports, he was very nice to all of the interns. Just as nice as he is to me now as an anchor here at KMOX.
Yeah, and super competitive. Like he was just at the top of his game and still is. Really, and you won't get rid of him either. He's going to be around for a while doing a lot of things in the St. Louis area. We love you, Mike. 629.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Gamma Tree Experts. Your trees deserve the best care. GammaTree.com. Gamma Tree Experts since 1954. Think about that. You're going way back to when Frank Gamma started that business out of a pickup truck. Now you have a fleet of trucks, and Tim and Tom Gamma, with their outstanding team, provide tree service in St. Louis that is respected. You know, when you have storms that come through and tree limbs come down, they'll help you clean that up for you. They will look at your trees before the storms come in to see which ones could be in danger. They are really good at what they do. Family owned and operated, known for quality and integrity, professional, responsive, quality is of prime importance, basically, at Gamma Tree Experts. GammaTree.com. See their staff at GammaTree.com. Gamma Tree Experts. Your trees deserve the best care.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
It is 6:31, and we have partly cloudy skies right now in downtown St. Louis, 76 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And they just within the last 45 seconds cleared this stall. We had northbound 55 north of Imperial, so all lanes are open there. Northbound 55 still has a little bit of a slowdown in McNutt, and it's still backed up north of M up to Imperial. There's more volume now midway up from Imperial through Richardson, and it sort of slow stretches up to the Merrimack River after that. So just a lot of volume down there, but precipitated in part by that stall we had at Imperial. Southbound 61, starting to see slow traffic from Wensfield Parkway down to 64 or 70. Once you get on one of those highways, though, you're a good run out of St. Charles County. By the way, North 270 from 55 up to Gravois, 44 Manchester. Everything looks good there. And for Illinois drivers, we still have a good run on 5570 westbound and 64 westbound through the split and across the Poplar and Mutual Veterans Bridges. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Extreme heat warning in effect through 9 p.m. Saturday. High 94 today will feel like 110. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and humid, low 79 with a chance of a thunderstorm. And tomorrow and Saturday, we're seeing highs approaching 99 in the forecast. Heavy rain right now in Arnold, Oakville, and Lemay. Otherwise, we're cloudy. A few clouds downtown, starting to clear up down here, 76 degrees.
After searching for hours, a 2-year-old was found safe and alive in South City yesterday. St. Louis City Police spokesman Mitch McCoy says the child was reported missing by her parents around 8 o'clock yesterday morning when they woke up to find her gone and the front door open. McCoy says witnesses reported seeing the child with a homeless woman identified only as Ashley and spent hours searching her known frequented locations.
There were multiple locations that we were checking to determine where she possibly was. I don't know if it was that specific address, but there were multiple locations that we were checking.
Ashley was later spotted in the afternoon with the child, but did not initially give police a reason for having her. Police say the child appeared unharmed, only hungry and very thirsty. Ashley and the parents could all face charges, according to McCoy.
PETA is suing Petland in Lake St. Louis for selling a puppy with a painful, debilitating brain defect. The lawsuit claims the store violated Missouri consumer laws by advertising healthy puppies while hiding severe genetic risks common in purebred dogs like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. The owner says she spent thousands on vet bills after her puppy developed a deformed skull and a severe parasitic infection, forcing her to surrender the puppy when she could no longer afford his care.
Abandoned guinea pigs were found in Lake St. Louis on Sunday. O'Fallon police say someone dumped 4 guinea pigs along Highway N near Hawk Ridge Trails. They were in 2 plastic exercise balls. Unfortunately, 3 of the piggies died in the extreme heat. The 4th was taken to a vet and is recovering. Police are urging anyone with information to call the O'Fallon Animal Control Office at 636-240-3200.
Both the Missouri State Fair and the Illinois State Fair open today and run through the 23rd of August. Yesterday, the infamous, I wouldn't say infamous, that's the bad word, the famous or the well-known Illinois butter cow was unveiled in Springfield, featuring a cow, a girl eating ice cream, and a dog on a scooter heading out on Route 66. This year's theme in Illinois is Miles of Smiles, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Route 66.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com at 6:35.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It is 6:36. This is Total Information AM. Debbie Monterrey along with Tom Ackerman. We'll check in with Roger Brand and our Joe Lundberg with the weather coming up in just about 3 minutes. But first, your money report. It's sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Ford will stop importing the one model it ships into the U.S. from China. The automaker says it will expand Lincoln output in the U.S. beginning in 2030. It has imported the Lincoln Nautilus SUV from China since 2024. President Trump has heaped pressure on automakers to reshore more production to the U.S. Yesterday's inline inflation reading is driving gains in stocks, easing concerns about an imminent Federal Reserve rate hike. The S&P 500 closed up 20 points. This morning, we get a closer look at producer prices. S&P futures are rising 10 points. Dow futures are gaining 145. And some food companies are removing artificial colors from their products and instead using no color at all. Natural dyes can be expensive and difficult to work with. Going without colors altogether is a gamble for the food industry that has long relied on vibrant shades to entice customers. Research has repeatedly shown that color cues influence what people say they taste. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Brew, and between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. And that's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years, guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, Xfinity makes getting connected simple with same-day Wi-Fi so you can get online in minutes. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Save big on your landscaping project at Menards. Whether you're looking for edgers, pavers, or wall blocks, Menards has the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape block ready to take home today. Build a beautiful border for your landscape with our interlock edgers on sale now through August 16th. Save big on landscape block at Menards. Also, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
It is 6:41. Let's check in with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We still got busy traffic on the south side, Debbie. Northbound 55 is slow in stretches from Imperial, Maine, all the way up through 141 due to an earlier incident we had north of Imperial, Maine. They cleared it, but building volume and the road conditions are keeping it slow. North 270 approaching Tesson Ferry to Gravois, Big Bend up to Manchester. That's crowded. Southbound 61, a couple of slowdowns, not solid, but a couple of heavy spots midway down from Highway P to 64 or 70. Once you get on them, though, you have a good run out of St. Charles County downtown. Eastbound 44 is a little heavy as you approach the Musial Veterans Bridge, but Illinois drivers, your interstates remain in good shape headed across the bridges. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Staples.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Let's check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. It's steamy, it's humid, it's just stinking hot, Joe.
It is, Debbie, and unfortunately, this is going to be our lot through the weekend. We have an extreme heat warning. That's through 9 p.m. Saturday. I suspect that gets extended all the way through Sunday evening. And it's going to feel like it's 100, 105, maybe even hotter than that, especially tomorrow, Saturday, and again on Sunday. Today, we've got some clouds around, and there are some thunderstorms. Right now, there's a couple of them Metro East. There's another one out toward the Wentzville area, and these are generally moving east. There could be some brief downpours. These you're traveling on I-70 right now, for instance. You might have some poor visibility and some road spray to contend with, but these should go away after the morning hours. In the afternoon, just the heat and humidity, the steam bath really builds. 94-hour high. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and muggy. The low 79. Again, could be a thunderstorm in the area. More sun than clouds tomorrow. I think it's just a very hot, sticky day. The high 98. Upper 90 Saturday with more sunshine. Partly sunny Sunday, very hot. It could be a thunderstorm that pops up in the afternoon, high 97. Better chance for a thunderstorm as we head through Saturday or Sunday night and Monday. Temperatures Monday may stay in the 80s with more cloud cover. 75 at St. Peter, 78 in Florissant. A lot of clouds, 79 right now downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, thanks, Joe. It is 6:43. After ICE announced it would be giving agents new shock gloves, the ACLU of Illinois is voicing its concerns. We get the latest from Carolina Garibay.
The conductive distraction and de-escalation devices, as described by the Department of Homeland Security, can deliver painful electric shocks. They're typically used by jails and police departments to subdue violent patients.
Our first initial thought to this is that, was one of disgust and concern.
Ed Yanko at the ACLU of Illinois says these devices are a recipe for further harm.
Federal officials, including ICE officers, have demonstrated clearly the fact that they are untrained, that they are prone to violence.
Yanko says he thinks the devices are another tactic by the Trump administration to scare and disempower communities.
I think what this is an attempt at intimidation and, frankly, to try to subvert the will of the majority in a community like Chicago to bend it to this dystopian view of America that this administration seems hell-bent on forcing on all of us.
In Massachusetts, a 17-year-old boy was taken into custody after his mother and 14-year-old brother were found dead in their family home. District Attorney Marion Ryan on the possible role of AI in the killings.
The investigation has so far shown that Arjun had recently been demonstrating some concerning behavior, including using the internet and ChatGPT to make searches for theoretical ideas or fantasy stories regarding the killing of his family.
The Middlesex District Attorney said the father was apprehended in Wayland, Massachusetts this morning after authorities announced Tuesday night they were searching for him. A surprising win for moderate Democrats this week after Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley defeated his progressive rival Francesca Hong in the state's primary for governor in a win that appeared to shock his campaign. That's according to ABC's Jay O'Brien.
At one point, Brad, it appeared that Hong had so much momentum that Crowley, just about a month ago, suspended and then a few days later unsuspended his campaign. So he had essentially, for a time, very briefly, dropped out of this race. And then, of course, on Tuesday night, he wins.
Now, KMOX Sports from the St. Luke's Hospital Sports Desk. St. Luke's, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital.
Let's talk about Jordan Walker this time. In fact, let's do one better. Let's hear Kyle Schwarber talk about Jordan Walker, the man who beat him in the home run derby in Philadelphia.
You know, you were really gracious to a young guy in Jordan Walker in Philadelphia. I felt that you knew what sort of pressure he was under, and you said so many nice things about him and to him.
Oh, I mean, he did a fantastic job. I mean, first off, just a really nice, good-spoken kid. He's out here, and, I know that he's had challenges throughout his career, but to see where he's at now and to see what he's able to do on, not just a home run derby format, but in a regular season and see the year that he's having, it's really cool to watch. And then you do go into Philly and you have a home run derby, and the whole stadium is against you, and to be able to feel like that, I felt like you set a pretty good bar, and then his back's up against the wall, and for him to really slow it down and to feel like he concentrated and got to where he needed to be and got the pitches he wanted to get to and make those swings, like it's not an easy thing to do. And even if it is BP to go out and just hit home runs, it's not that easy. And you're hitting a round ball with a round bat, and if you miss it by so much that it could be a ground ball, it can be a pop-up, it could be a line drive, but it might not end up going over the fence. So he did a fantastic job, and it was really cool to see him and his family and have that moment. And sure, would I have liked it? Absolutely. And, you wanted to get it done for your hometown fans, but to have a performance like that, it's kind of hard not to tip your cap and say, wow, that was a fantastic job.
What a great statement there by Kyle Schwarber on the field yesterday at Busch Stadium with me, talking about Jordan Walker. And then Walker later, as the Phillies were trying to knock off the Cardinals, did this.
83 RBIs, and there's a line drive hit. That goes down the left field line to the wall, and it's a double for Jordan Walker, scoring Burleson, and the Cardinals have a 5-1 lead.
Part of an explosion in the fifth inning. The Cardinals went on to win this game 7-1 over the Phillies. They're 2.5 back in the wild card race, and they believe they have a shot. Here's Walker.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we feel like we're a better team than how we played recently. I think that we believe we have a shot, playoff push for sure. So that's kind of, what the vibes are right now.
Interesting. Haven't heard them really talk about the playoffs as much, but here they go to Wrigley Field for a game tomorrow. We'll have it on KMOX at 1:20. Who's Hot, Who's Not, sponsored by St. Louis Composting, growing gardens, making memories. St. Louis Composting, 9 locations in St. Louis. So there's one near you. We're talking about soil, mulch, and compost right there for you. You want to grow a garden? Compost is what you need, and soil for your lawn, for really anywhere around your property, and of course mulch, which will protect and make everything look great. It's St. Louis Composting. All you need to do is go to stlcompost.com. They will take great care of you. If you have a truck or trailer, you can pick up your order at any of their 9 locations. No need to order online or pay delivery fees, but we did the delivery. It is great to have them deliver it right to your home. stlcompost.com. Premium certified compost in St. Louis. St. Louis Composting.
This summer, local events are happening all over the place, and i3 Broadband is a big part of it. At i3, we love being part of the neighborhood and are proud to support the events that make our communities great. We're also proud to deliver 100% fiber-to-home internet, recognized as Greater St. Louis's next-door neighborhood fave. We give you lightning-fast speeds and reliable performance. Head over to i3broadband.com/radio today or call 866-806-5485 to upgrade, because life runs better on fiber, and i3 Broadband is here for you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Total Information AM, Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
6:51. It looks like the skies are clearing a little bit in downtown St. Louis. At least it's not raining anymore. We'll get the latest on the forecast coming up in just a minute. But first, here is the condition of your ride in from Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's getting better on northbound 55, Debbie. It's slow going from Richardson Road up through 141 to the Merrimack into that work area. But after that, you're okay. Northbound 270 from 55 to Gravois, north of Big Bend through Doherty Ferry. Some slower traffic running through there right now as well. Southbound 61, a couple of slow spots approaching Highway P down to Wentzville Park weekend on eastbound 70. But once you get on to eastbound 64 or 70, they are good runs out of St. Charles County. Crash off the roadway, southbound 55 at Merrimack Bottom and westbound 255 before Telegraph. Not seeing any delays at those locations. And I'm still not seeing any delays downtown. Westbound 55, 70, and 64 both look good through the work zones. And the bridges, Poplar Music Veterans bridges, are still wide open westbound as well. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. How's your family? Do you have a legal plan for them when you're gone? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg says an extreme heat warning through 9 p.m. Saturday. Just be advised, if you don't know by now, this is dangerous heat. 110 for AccuWeather real feels each afternoon through the weekend. High of 94 today with a chance of a thunderstorm tonight. Chance of a thunderstorm, a low of 79. Tomorrow, very hot and humid, high 98. Saturday, a high of 99 degrees. Right now, we do have rain still falling to the south of us here in downtown Oakville, and it's crossed over into the Metro East. It is 77 degrees.
It's 6:53. That new quartz kitchen countertop, somebody may have actually died making it. Here's Emily Valdez.
Workers, often young people who make these very popular quartz countertops, are developing a lung disease called silicosis.
It can be disabling, and in many cases, it can be fatal.
David Michaels is a public health professor at George Washington University. He authored a study in collaboration with the California Department of Public Health, UCLA, and UC San Francisco about silicosis becoming widespread among workers who make these quartz countertops.
And what we've seen is that in California alone, there have been more than 600 cases of silicosis among workers who fabricate kitchen countertops. They're often called quartz countertops or engineered stone countertops. They're made from pulverized quartz mixed with resin.
Australia's even banned quartz countertops because of the dangers in making them.
It's outrageous to me that these big stores like Costco, Home Depot, and Lowe's still sell this product because we don't need this product. There is a safe alternative made from recycled glass that looks equally good but doesn't kill the workers making it.
He's urging consumers to buy other types of countertops, stone, granite, instead of the quartz.
Tweens may soon be able to hail an Uber. The company is looking to expand its service to its youngest passengers yet, kids aged 10 to 12. Bloomberg's Natalie Long says the plan was revealed in the code of the latest version of the Uber app. She says it would be similar to the service already provided for teens 13 to 17.
They have really expanded their products for families, for different demographics over the past few years. As mentioned, teens was introduced in 2023, and last year they rolled out a simpler interface of their rideshare app marketed towards seniors.
Lung says there would be additional restrictions, and it will be a while before the service would be available.
As you can imagine, these rides will be pretty regulated. So if it does launch in the future, they will likely launch in select markets, test it out, and before rolling out more widely.
In a statement, Uber says it isn't currently a live product, but it's always looking to meet the needs of families. Lung says there is no guarantee that the company will ultimately launch the feature.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
The birthday shout out is sponsored for you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back. Happy birthday to Joe Snowbeck from The Blessings. Sherry Herbeck and Marianne Papachel are celebrating today. So is Mike Carnes. Happy 59th to you. Vin Coe and Amy Reuther. Happy birthday.
This is the best birthday ever.
McKelvey Homes is 128 years old. They started in 1898. How about them? McKelvey Homes. They have a great product, too. It's called Homes and Home Sites, and they are the best at what they do. Missouri's oldest home builder. Move up to a McKelvey home and enjoy $78,000 in savings. Special financing, too. $78,000 on select homes in beautiful St. Louis communities. Check out McKelveyhomes.com right now. Look at these homes they show you. My goodness. Absolutely spectacular. From start to finish, you will be involved. They'll be involved in everything that you want to do. Exteriors, kitchens, great rooms, bedrooms. I remember when Jim Brennan took me on a tour of one of their homes, I was blown away by how beautiful these homes were. I wanted to move in right then and there. McKelvey Homes, with a long-standing tradition of quality craftsmanship and exceptional value, committed to the highest standards of excellence. Whether you choose one of their thoughtfully designed communities or maybe you prefer a custom home on your own lot, McKelvey builds in the most sought-after locations. McKelveyhomes.com. Move up to McKelvey.
Seeing more bees, wasps, or hornets around your home? Carpenter bees can damage wood structures, and wasps and hornets often hide nests inside walls. Don't risk getting stung. Let Rottler Pest Solutions protect your home and family. Call Rottler today or visit Rottler.com.
Teachers, healthcare workers, first responders, and military. This one's for you. Scott Credit Union's Community Heroes program offers special financing on homes, autos, and more. It's our way of saying thanks. Visit scu.org today. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 415767. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are talking to Dr. Premal Thacker.
We have our nurse coordinators, so every physician has an assigned nurse coordinator who helps guide the patient through their journey. Through their care, as well as the fact that we have specialized pathologists who help us make the correct diagnosis. And sometimes, these can be tricky, so we're very lucky and fortunate. And then we have our multidisciplinary tumor boards where we meet with our radiation oncologists, our pathologists, and all of our colleagues who are gynecologic oncologists. So you have I like to say, the mind of 9 partners in addition to the physician you're seeing. So you really have that highly specialized care and teamwork that's necessary to get you through a hard time. Additionally, we have psychologists because we know that there's so much that goes into this besides just getting diagnosed and going through the treatment steps.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
Here is Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, W, we still have slow traffic on northbound 55 north of Richardson up to 141. Then it sorts itself out, and it's pretty good to run up to 270 from there. They're working this. It was reported as a rescue crash, a vehicle off the roadway westbound 255 before Telegraph. It does look like they have the right lane blocked now, and traffic is backed up to Coke Road on westbound 255, so be prepared. Then you've got slow traffic on North 270 if you're continuing on that run. North of 55 up to Gravois, we had an incident on the shoulder there. Big Bend through Doherty Ferry is kind of slow. It gets better once you get past that point. Out west, southbound 61, still a couple of slowdowns from Highway P all the way down to 64-70. Eastbound 70, Z to A, there's a couple of heavy spots running through there. Then on the Illinois side, starting to see a bit of a backup on westbound 55-70 approaching 111. Next update at 7:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. More rain and rough weather in store, and some areas already pummeled by storms. ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Powerful monsoon storms rolling through Arizona. Radar estimates of 2 to 4 inches of rain falling fast. Near Phoenix, up to an inch, triggering flash flooding. All of this as catastrophic training storms forced flash flood emergencies in Indiana.
Some spots in Indiana getting a foot of rain, more on the way today. Near Fort Hood, Texas, investigators are trying to figure out why an Army Apache helicopter went down, killing both soldiers on board. Concerns for some of the sailors and Marines aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln in the middle of an extended 9-month deployment supporting the war with Iran. Several reports say some service members have tried to jump overboard as they deal with conditions that include moldy bathrooms and interruptions to food deliveries. About 500 people are still missing after the deadly earthquake in Colombia. This is ABC News. New York Governor Kathy Hochul responding to new action by the Trump administration, not renewing federal contracts with nearly 100 legal service providers that represent unaccompanied minors through the immigration process. In response, Governor Kathy Hochul says the state will spend more than $7 million of its own dollars, as there are 1,400 unaccompanied minors in New York alone.
These cruel, depraved decisions can be a death warrant for our kids, whose only sin was being born in poverty or in a country consumed with political violence, and their parents decide they're better off leaving.
President Trump's press secretary Caroline Leavitt is leaving. She just gave birth to her second child and says she wants to spend more time with her and her young son, so she is quitting her job behind the podium. All of President Trump's cabinet members praise the job Leavitt has done during the president's second term. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It is 7:02, and we have partly cloudy skies, 76 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. 20 people were displaced this morning after an early morning apartment fire in Maplewood. The complex, located in the 2100 block of Bellevue, has been temporarily condemned due to extensive damage to the second and third floors and the roof. No serious injuries were reported, but the resident of the second-story unit where the fire first broke out was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
After searching for hours, a 2-year-old was found safe and alive in South City yesterday. St. Louis City Police spokesman Mitch McCoy says the child was reported missing by her parents around 8 a.m. when they woke up to find her gone and the front door open. McCoy says witnesses reported seeing the child with a homeless woman only identified as Ashley, and they spent hours searching her known frequented locations.
There were multiple locations that we were checking to determine where she possibly was. I don't know if it was that specific address, but there were multiple locations that we were checking.
Ashley was later spotted in the afternoon with the child and did not initially give police a reason for having the child. Police say the girl appeared to be unharmed, only hungry and very thirsty. Ashley and the parents could face charges, according to McCoy.
St. Louis Public Schools continue to push back a vote on their consolidation plan. The school board was scheduled to vote on the Future Ready plan in August, but pushed to vote back to October following continued questions by parents and staff at a recent community meeting. The Post-Dispatch reports the vote is now scheduled for October 13th. Another community feedback meeting will be held next Monday at 5 p.m. at Carr Lane VPA Middle School.
Voters in Chesterfield will see on the November ballot a proposal for a 46-cent operating tax levy increase. The Parkway Board of Education voting unanimously yesterday for that increase, which the board says is necessary to support the district's staff, classroom resources, and long-term financial stability.
Parkway says the district's operating costs have risen faster than its revenue in the past 2 years, resulting in a projected $75 million funding shortfall over the next 10 years. The board's vote comes after months of community meetings and resident feedback on the increase.
A bill recently signed into law in Illinois allows schools to get motel rooms for homeless students if the cost of the motel is lower than how much it costs for a school bus to pick that student up. Would unhoused students in Missouri benefit from similar legislation?
Currently, homeless students in St. Louis have to go through several avenues to be connected with comprehensive housing services, which are offered primarily through the city and the county Department of Human Services. And while the passage of the Illinois bill is certainly turning heads in Missouri, Kevin McKenna, the acting director of Human Services with the county department, says St. Louis students need more than just to be connected with local resources.
It's not enough just to provide people with transportation or a safe bed night. We really need to start focusing on what are the root causes that put people in these situations to begin with.
And while the county department continues to receive federal funding for local services, McKenna says the funding is not stretching as far as it used to. Jade Aubrey, KMOX News.
The federal government is suing Washington University for firing an employee who complained about race segregation during a mandatory diversity training. The EEOC alleges WashU retaliated against Amiga Thayer, who was a senior manager at Siteman Cancer Center, after she objected to being separated from her white colleagues during a university DEI session. The suit claims WashU stripped Thayer of her duties and eliminated her position after she filed a formal discrimination charge.
A Cole County judge rules the Missouri redistricting referendum and a constitutional amendment limiting legislative power to alter laws passed by initiative will go to trial. The Missouri Independent reporting Judge Daniel Green ordered the hearings after Secretary of State Denny Hoskins blocked them from a statewide vote. State law has a September 8th deadline for court orders adding questions to the November ballot.
Yesterday morning, we told you about AI infrastructure framework the Missouri House Future Caucus presented to local communities as a way to navigate the growing data center industry. An unlikely entity is listed as the author of the document.
First reported by KSDK, a check of the properties for the AI infrastructure community evaluation framework lists an unexpected entity as its author. OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, is listed as the author of the document presented by the Missouri House Futures Caucus to help localities navigate the infrastructure AI relies on. Future Caucus Chair Colin Wellenkamp was asked if AI was used to write this document. His response:
we used templates to give us a baseline framework, and then we added in the information that we got from our own testimony that we supervised. I can tell you this, I did not use any kind of AI tool.
He eventually wavered, saying no AI was used to his knowledge. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Someone in Illinois won the $1 billion Powerball jackpot last night.
Oh, my.
I know. It was sold at a Hy-Vee gas station in Quincy.
Oh, pretty close. Wednesday's drawing was the 44th consecutive drawing since the last jackpot win on May 2nd. It's the largest Powerball jackpot this year and the 8th largest in the game's history. The winner will have to decide between taking a payout over 29 years or a lump sum of $450.5 million.
I'm not sure that's enough.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, 29 years. So I would be 80 at the end of that. I might do the 29 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you would?
I might do that over 29 years. Lump sum of 450s, that's a ton.
That is. And then you could invest wisely.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Boy, what a decision to make.
I know. Things I'll never have to worry about.
Well, you never know. You got to play to win.
That's true.
It's 7:08 traffic and weather next.
Every step matters. That's why Steve All and the entire team at the All Financial Group have signed up to walk and fundraise for the St. Jude Walk on September 12th. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer. And here's what makes them truly remarkable. Families never receive a bill from St. Jude, so parents can focus on one thing and one thing only, their child. We want you to be a part of this. You can join our team and walk with us on September 12th or simply make a donation. And here's the good news. Steve will personally match every dollar you give up to $1,000. To donate or to register to walk with the All Financial Group, visit steveall.com. That's Steve, AUL.com. Or call 636-230-8824 for more information. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, a registered investment advisor. All Financial Group LLC is not affiliated with St. Jude's Research Hospital and does not accept or collect donations on their behalf.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It's 7:10 and time for traffic and weather. It looks like maybe a few more clouds have moved in. We'll figure out what's going on with the forecast after we check in with Roger Brand, who's keeping his eye on your ride in from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, we still have a bit of a jam on westbound 255 coming through Coke Road from the JB Bridge. There's a crash. A vehicle left the roadway before you even get to Telegraph. They did have the right lane blocked with a flatbed tow truck. It's too far away from my vantage point to see if they're still out there, but I can tell you there's still a jam from the JB Bridge through Coke Road. Then it starts to open up on westbound 255. Northbound Telegraph, Christopher up through Herb Road. That's a solid jam. North 270, north of 55 to Gravois is the only real slow traffic you have on that run right now. Southbound 61, it's not a jam, but it starts to slow down almost midway between W and Highway P, down onto eastbound 70 toward Highway A, and then it finally opens up and runs well after that. And then on the Illinois side, we have a roadwork jam on westbound 5570, west of 255 all the way into 111. Northbound to 55 is still slow north of Richardson up to 141 as well. Next update is 720 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, the extreme heat warning has been extended through 9 p.m. Saturday, with AccuWeather real field temperatures as high as 105 to 110 each afternoon through the weekend. For today, intervals of clouds and sun, hot and humid. There can be a thunderstorm or two in the area mainly this morning, or high 94. Partly cloudy, warm, and very humid tonight with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots, the low 79. For tomorrow, more sun than clouds, very hot and humid, high 98. Saturday, mostly sunny, quite hot and humid, high 99. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is very warm out there. Right now, we're looking at 77 degrees, but it's the humidity that you're feeling. It is 87% downtown at the Arch.
It is 7:12. A legal battle between the city of Alton and its mayor is on hold after a last-minute shakeup in court. The Riverbender reporting that the hearing in the lawsuit filed by Mayor David Goins against the city was scheduled for yesterday. It has been postponed indefinitely after an attorney for the city requested a new judge. The dispute centers on a city council ordinance passed while the mayor was out of town that wiped out his department appointments. A judge previously issued a temporary restraining order blocking the council from enforcing the rule while the case plays out.
PETA is suing Petland in Lake St. Louis for selling a puppy with a painful, debilitating brain defect. The lawsuit claims the store violated Missouri consumer laws by advertising healthy puppies while hiding severe genetic risks common in purebred dogs like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. The owner says she spent thousands on vet bills after her puppy developed a deformed skull and a severe parasitic infection, forcing her to surrender the dog when she could no longer afford his care.
Abandoned guinea pigs were found in Lake St. Louis on Sunday. O'Fallon police say someone dumped 4 guinea pigs along Highway N near Hawk Ridge Trails. They were in 2 plastic exercise balls. Unfortunately, 3 of the piggies died in the extreme heat. It was about 95 degrees on Sunday. The 4th was taken to a vet and is recovering. Police are urging anyone with any information to call the O'Fallon Animal Control Office.
This Friday, drivers heading into Midtown can expect increased traffic around the St. Louis University campus as new and returning students move into residence halls. Laclede Avenue between Vandeventer and Grand will be closed due to normal traffic, closed to normal traffic as these new Billikens move in. All vehicles planning to travel on Laclede should approach from Vandeventer toward Grand. The university's parking garage at Grand and Laclede will be closed to all external traffic and used as an unloading zone for students and their families. It's 7:15.
Now, KMOX Sports from the St. Luke's Hospital Sports Desk. St. Luke's, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital.
Speaking of SLU, they opened their women's soccer schedule last night at beautiful Herman Stadium on the SLU campus. It was a battle against Alabama, but it turned out to be a win for the Crimson Tide. They scored in the 88th minute to break a 1-1 tie and win it 2-1 over SLU. SLU has a young team, but boy, are they talented. That loss shouldn't hurt them. We'll see how it looks as the season goes along in the Atlantic 10 for Katie Shields' team. She is in her 14th year as coach at St. Louis University. The men are ranked 4th in the country. They open this weekend. As for the Cardinals, they're starting to creep up in the wild card standings. They have themselves a team that feels like they are in the hunt. Here's Jordan Walker.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I think we feel like we're a better team than how we played recently. So, I mean, I think that we believe we have a shot, playoff push for sure. So that's kind of, what the vibes are right now.
They are 2.5 out. Let's get the latest from our broadcasters.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. And yesterday, the Cardinals finished off 2 out of 3 in the win column over Philadelphia, winning 7-1, and capped off the 5th inning when the Cardinals put up a great 2-out rally. 83 RBIs, and there's a line drive hit. That goes down the left field line to the wall, and that's a double for Jordan Walker scoring Burleson, and the Cardinals have a 5-1 lead. Jordan Walker drove in that run to cap off the rally, but he had a great all-round game.
Really a complete game for him. He had a stolen base, maybe the best defensive play we've ever seen him make in deep right center field to help out the Cardinal pitching, and the Cardinal pitching was outstanding. Only 1 run allowed as Kyle Leahy was dominant, and he was going toe-to-toe.
Leahy with the win, Wheeler with the loss, and the Cardinals won a game started by the all-star starter, Christopher Sanchez. And the Cardinals will open a series against the Cubs after an off day today. It's a 1:20 game tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 12:25.
And guys, the Cubs look good. They had 3 home runs from Alex Bregman last night in a 12-6 win over the Nationals. Look out, Brewers. Here come the Cubs. The Cubs are only 3 games out in the National League Central as the Brewers lost again and the Cubs won again. The Cubs have won 3 in a row. The Brewers have lost 3 in a row, and Milwaukee is looking in the rearview mirror. Padres got them 4-3. For that matter, the Padres have moved into the second wild card spot in the National League. They've won 5 in a row. Arizona and Philadelphia tied for that last wild card spot. The Marlins have come alive. They've won 4 in a row. They're a game and a half out. And here come the Cardinals at 2.5 back, 61-60. A day off for St. Louis today. They will visit the Cubs this weekend. They are all-day games. Cardinals will play a 1:20 game on Friday, a 1:20 game on Saturday, and on Sunday on KMOX, they'll take on the Cubs at 2:15. Anybody going up to Wrigley to go see some Cards-Cubs action? Cuts to the game sponsored by The Diamond Shop, thediamondshop.net. I'm Tom Ackerman on the home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
When it comes to your hearing, you deserve expert care. At the Audiology Center, you're treated by certified audiologists Dr. Colleen Bosler, Dr. Adam Foss, and Dr. Bailey Campbell, meaning 8 years of advanced education, clinical expertise, and a commitment to best practices.
Charlie, we offer hearing aids from all major manufacturers, so you get what's best for you. Every patient receives individualized testing, precise fittings using real ear measurements, and personalized programming to ensure your hearing aids perform exactly as they should. And our care doesn't stop once you leave the office. We're committed to helping your hearing aids last. through ongoing adjustments, maintenance, and long-term support at no extra cost. Better hearing is personal, not one size fits all. Call us today at 636-441-7470 or visit us online at theaudiologycenterstl.com. And let's take that first step together.
You know, we have some sad pet-related stories in the news today, and I'm thinking still about those guinea pigs that were left on the side of the road. I'll tell you what, guinea pigs can be a lot, but if you don't want your guinea pig anymore, you could take it to the Humane Society of Missouri, and they would make sure that those guinea pigs found a new home where they would be loved and taken care of, because that's what the Humane Society of Missouri does. They give animals a second chance, and they rescue animals from terrible situations all over the state of Missouri with the animal rescue task force that they put hundreds of thousands of miles on their vehicles just driving around rescuing not just dogs and cats and guinea pigs, but also farm animals that go to the Longmeadow Rescue Ranch. It's just a blessing that we have them to help animals, and they have brought joy to my life because my dog Lola, who I adore, is from the Humane Society. She was rescued from a puppy mill. Anyway, all of this to say that if you would like to support the Humane Society of Missouri's work, you can go to hsmo.org. If you would like to foster or adopt a dog, cat, other pet, just check them out online or in person. And you could ask as well about their great deal. They have been giving away 2 complimentary tickets to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts 250 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on September 12th at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Those tickets did go quickly, but they were giving those away to the first 200 folks who adopted dogs. So hsmo.org is where you go for more information about the Humane Society of Missouri.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, looks like we just have a slowdown now, Tom, so they should have that crash wrapped up, the one that was westbound 255 east of Telegraph. Traffic's still slow at the JB Bridge, but it's not jammed like it was 10 minutes ago. Once you get past that point, north 270 from 55 up to about the Sappington Road overpass, slow. A little busy at Gravois after that, not bad. South 270, south of Ladue to 64 is kind of slow. Northbound 55, north of Richardson up to 141, still some heavier traffic there, but again, it's just slow, not jammed. We are seeing a little bit of a backup now, and it's slow the whole way down, but some of it's bumper to bumper. Highway P down to onto eastbound 70 through Highway A. You've got the delays, but once you get past A, 64 and 70 are both great runs out of St. Charles County. And downtown, we have the roadwork jam. The only one right now is westbound 5570, bumper to bumper, most of the way from 255 through to 111. Next update is 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
After a disaster, emotional recovery takes time. Show Me Hope Missouri is here for you with free confidential support. Counselors help with stress, coping skills, and connect to resources. If the St. Louis tornado impacted you, visit moshowmehope.org from Missouri Department of Mental Health.
It's going to be just incredibly hot, at least all the way through Sunday. A bit of a cool down by Monday when we'll be in the mid 80s. That will seem like sweet relief. The extreme heat warning remains in effect now through Saturday night. Today, a mix of sun and clouds. We could still see a thunderstorm or two pop up this morning, but it looks like things are clearing out. 94 degrees is our high today. It could be feeling as hot as 105 to 110 degrees every day for the next 5 days. It's 77 degrees right now.
It's 7:23. The ACLU of Illinois is speaking out after ICE announced that agents would be getting electric gloves to help with de-escalation efforts. Here's Carolina Garibay.
A notice published Monday by the Department of Homeland Security says ICE plans to spend up to $20 million on gloves that can deliver painful electric shocks intended to gain compliance from combative individuals. Ed Yonka with the ACLU of Illinois.
Giving these agents a concealed means of delivering this kind of terrible pain is just a recipe for further harm.
The devices are typically used in some jails and police departments to subdue violent suspects. And while the manufacturer warns that the device should not be used as punishment. Yanka says he doesn't trust that ICE agents will follow that guidance.
What we witnessed just in Chicago, we saw the excessive use of chemical agents. We saw the use of rubber bullets. We saw the use of weapons being pointed. To add onto that, not more training, but yet another damaging weapon, I think is something that is really troubling.
There were many confrontations between protesters and ICE agents in Chicago during Operation Midway Blitz. Yesterday saw a rare moment, the conviction of an ICE agent. We get details from Nancy Hardy.
Adam Sirocco will face no jail time. A Cook County judge sentenced the 41-year-old to a year of supervision for his guilty plea to a misdemeanor count of battery. The ICE agent was charged after he pushed down Robert Held while Held filmed him at a gas station in Brookfield back in December. The 68-year-old attorney and activist had followed Sirocco from the Broadview processing facility. He was off duty at the time, while protesters and some local politicians have repeatedly called for federal agents to be criminally charged for their actions during the Trump administration's deportation campaign here last fall. Sirocco is believed to be the first and only one.
Those beautiful quartz countertops in everyone's kitchen are sickening and even killing the workers making them. Emily Valdez with this report.
California has had 600 cases of silicosis. It's a very serious and often fatal lung disease where fine particles from making these quartz countertops, ground up stone encased in resin, get into the lungs of these workers.
The California Occupational Health and Safety Standards Board held a hearing where workers testified about how terrible the conditions are and how they're getting sick from this exposure. And public health professionals, including myself, testified about the need to control this exposure.
David Michaels is a public health professor at George Washington University. He did a study on silicosis.
And the Standards Board recommended to California OSHA that OSHA issue emergency standards to essentially ban production of this material as well. And I hope this happens quickly because the longer workers are exposed, the more of them will get sick. In the meantime, though, I hope consumers listen to this and they stop buying these materials and that the big box stores stop selling these materials.
What would you recommend instead that's about the same price?
Well, they should ask for countertops made from recycled or crushed glass or go back to marble or granite. Those are safer products.
Because of silicosis, Australia has banned the quartz countertops.
It's time for the cosmic fireworks show known as the Perseid meteor shower.
It's likely that you'll see anywhere from 20 to 30 per hour, which is a fairly significant meteor shower in the cosmic scheme of things. So I would say that it's well worth going out after midnight on the evening of the 12th and the 13th and giving it an hour or two to observe.
Professor Paul Temple runs the Morrison Observatory at Central Methodist University and tells MissouriNet the best time to watch is between midnight and dawn.
And they're all different. They have different colors. They're made up of different particles. Some are green, some are red, some are yellow. And there's even some larger particles that explode and light up the landscape. Those are called bolides. And so this particular meteor shower is one of the better ones you normally get during the years.
Again, that sounds amazing, and I'd love to see it, but I'll be sleeping, and also it'll be very cloudy and probably stormy overnight. But you may get a little
Today's
pocket
the last day, right?
Yeah, tonight's the last night.
Tonight's the last night.
I know.
Well, I'm actually not on the air tomorrow morning, so maybe.
So maybe there might be a clear spot in the sky, and you could see some exploding stars.
727 time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
I've noticed over the last 15 years, no, let's just say 10 years, how astronomical the prices to heat and cooler homes are for the equipment. Because there was a time when you would call me and it was affordable. If you have a house and you want air conditioning and you just want it to cool your house and you want to heat your house, I have a system that I made a special buy on that will do just that and save you money. Common sense will tell you if you just replace your old, and I'm talking 15, 20, 25, 30, 35-year-old system with a new system, you're going to save big dollars. If you're interested in that, call me. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Again, it's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600. God bless.
When it comes to your health, having knowledge is powerful, as they say. And so if you could better understand what your risk was for chronic disease before you even have that first symptom, how powerful would that be? Siteman Cancer Center's Your Disease Risk, and that's what it's called, Your Disease Risk, provides personalized insights to help you understand factors that might increase or decrease your risk for chronic disease and cancer, whether that is environmental, whether it is genetic. With easy to understand information and prevention guidance, Siteman will help you take those meaningful steps toward a healthier future. Just a few minutes today could make a difference for years to come. Siteman.washu.edu/YDR. Siteman.washu.edu/YDR.
Give the gift of a magical experience at St. Louis Union Station when you take a real train ride journey to the North Pole aboard the Polar Express. Meet Santa and experience the magic of the Polar Express story with hot chocolate, treats, music, and sing-alongs. For those that truly believe in the spirit of Christmas, head down to St. Louis Union Station this year. Book your golden ticket before they sell out at stlpolarexpressride.com.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
It is 7:30, 77 degrees with cloudy skies, although I do see a bit of sunshine right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Roger Brand, overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We got some heavier traffic on the Illinois side. It looks actually better, though, on 5570 now. There's just a little slow traffic at 255 and passing 111 around 203. Not that big of a deal, but 64 now is starting to slow down about midway between 111 and 5th Street up to the 70 split. And then we have an incident on the Poplar Street Bridge westbound. I can't tell what lane's blocked, but the jam right now only goes back to the Illinois side of the bridge, so not too extensive. Still seeing slow traffic westbound 255 west of the JB Bridge, most of the way to Telegraph. We had a crash earlier east of Telegraph, north 270, 55 through Gravois, Big Bend up through Manchester, the slowest parts there. Northbound 55 north of Richardson up to 141, that's kind of busy. Southbound 61 is stop and go pockets now north of Highway P all the way down to 70. Eastbound 70 east of Wentzville Parkway through 64 is backed up, and then there's a little heavy traffic 94 in through about 5th Street. Next update at 7:40 from the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Our weather forecast, how's it looking out there?
Extreme heat warning now extended through Saturday night. So today, 94 degrees, but it could feel as hot as 105 to 110 degrees. We are probably done with thunderstorms for the most part this morning, but we are looking at the possibility of one or two popping up tonight with flooding downpours and damaging wind gusts. Tomorrow, 98, Saturday, 99. Right now, it's 77 degrees.
There was an early morning apartment fire in Maplewood. 20 people were displaced. The complex, located in the 2100 block of Bellevue, had been temporarily condemned and has been now due to extensive damage to the second and third floors and the roof. No serious injuries were reported, but the resident of the second-story unit where the fire first broke out was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Salem police say a suspect has been confirmed in a decade-old case. Cold case. 81-year-old Rosalie Bird died in 2015 after suffering blunt force trauma to the head at her home in Salem. Police say the investigation remains active. The FBI is now involved. A suspect has been identified but not apprehended.
And we will emphasize that is Salem, Missouri. A Cole County judge rules the Missouri redistricting referendum and a constitutional amendment limiting legislative power to alter laws passed by initiative will go to trial. The Missouri Independent reports Judge Daniel Green ordered the hearings after Secretary of State Denny Hoskins blocked them from a statewide vote. State law has a September 8th deadline for court orders adding questions to the ballot.
According to the metadata, a surprising author wrote the AI infrastructure guide presented by the Missouri House Future Caucus.
First reported by KSDK, if you were to search the metadata of the 14-page document, the author is listed as OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT. Future Caucus Chair Colin Wellenkamp was asked about the use of AI in writing the document intended to help communities make informed decisions about AI infrastructure. He denied any AI involvement and repeatedly claimed the work was done by humans.
I came up with the file name. I also picked the colors. Those colors were picked by me. I do a lot of graphics work in my day job.
Another lawmaker made this point.
Who cares where it came from? Is the content good? Does the content help people?
Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Your Money Minute next.
The Cardinals conversation doesn't end when the game does. Watch the Gas House game, Redbird Rush Hour, Sports Open Line, and sports on a Sunday morning, whenever and wherever you want. Plus, exclusive conversations with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol, president of baseball operations Chaim Bloom, players, broadcasters, and baseball insiders. Subscribe today to the KMOX Sports YouTube channel because Cardinals fans deserve a front row seat.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Imagine every time your business makes a sale. Inventory updates, an invoice is created, customer records are updated, accounting stays current. That's the power of Odoo. One fully integrated platform where every part of your business works together, automating tasks, eliminating extra steps, and saving you valuable time. Everything connects. Everything works. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
It is 7:36. This is Total Information AM. We'll take a look at traffic and weather in 4 minutes. It's time right now for your Money Minute, sponsored by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Shares of Cisco Systems sliding in the early trade. The networking giant expects about $7.5 billion in artificial intelligence-related sales this year, well below the $9.3 billion in orders it already booked over the past year. Cisco is facing high expectations that it will profit from the worldwide build-out of data centers powering AI systems. Turning to the markets, stocks are hanging near record highs after yesterday's cooler-than-expected inflation report is easing worries that the Federal Reserve might need to raise interest rates next month. And Sweetgreen is trying to shed its image as a purveyor of raw produce as diners stay away from greens due to the cyclospora outbreak. Warm bowls and wraps now make up more than 50% of what the company sells, with salads accounting for the rest. The restaurant chain recently said that it expects this year's sales decline to be steeper than it originally forecast. Sweetgreen was not linked to the outbreak. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support, community leadership, and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868. Member FDIC.
Soldiers Memorial Military Museum looks at American military history through the lens of St. Louis. From the Revolutionary War to the present day, the gallery showcases stories of local service members and delve into the city's wartime history. Outside, the Court of Honors includes monuments to those who lost their lives in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Admission is free. Find information about special exhibits at mohistory.org/memorial. That's mohistory.org/memorial.
A common question I receive is,
How is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than two?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Don's Garage Doors has been serving families since 1998, and now we're bringing that same great experience to the Lou. We take pride in having a neighbor-first approach to doing business with local technicians who are your neighbors. Don's Garage Doors is new to the area, but we're not new to working extra hard to earn customer trust, one garage door at a time. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors.
Don's Garage Doors, Don's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
740, Roger Brand, what's the latest? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got some backed up traffic in certain areas, Tom. The 70, we got a couple issues with delays out there. We have looks like a crash in the left lane on eastbound Highway 70, right at 64, blocking the left lane. So that's jamming traffic on eastbound 70 back to Wentzville Parkway. Southbound 61 is backed up north of Highway P. Looks like we have a crash there before you get to 64 and 70 as well. So double trouble and a jam because of it. Once you get past that point, eastbound 70, if you're sticking with that, Bryan Road into Highway K is kind of slow. It's kind of busy, 94 to 5th Street. And then east of the Blanchette through our city, we have a crash westbound 70 that's blocking the right lanes just before the Earth City exit, jamming to 270 ramp. So we're going to talk about our USPS Ground Advantage reliable route. Tell you can take 370 west if you're coming from the north out to 141, and you can take 364 west to 141 if you're coming in from the south side instead of sitting in those jams coming off those ramps. Eastbound 64 heavy, Clarkson into Timberlake, a slow down at the Interbelt. Westbound 64 a little busy at the city limits. Westbound 255 still slow through Coke Road because of an earlier crash. 270 delays, Tesson Ferry through Gravois, 44 up through Manchester, 55 both sides of 141's heavy, and westbound 64 111 all the way across the Poplar. We have that crash at the Missouri end of the bridge. Next update is 750 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Let's check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. Mid-80s sounds amazing right about now, Joe.
It does. And that's what we're forecasting for Monday, assuming a front can make it through here and give us temporal relief. And I say temporal because I think the heat's going to come back later next week. But it's all about the heat between now and the end of the weekend. Today, still dealing with a couple of thunderstorms to the northwest side of the city, just northwest of the St. Charles area, just north of St. Peter's right now. But these are small, maybe some brief downpours or gusty winds. They'll go away, and with some sunshine, we're going to get to 94 this afternoon. It'll feel like it's 100 to 105. Tonight, partly cloudy, very warm and humid, but maybe a thunderstorm, below 79. Tomorrow, more sunshine, very hot and humid up to 98. Pretty similar on Saturday. Sunshine, very hot and humid, about 99. Partly sunny, still very toasty on Sunday. Maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. That's with that next front approaching, the high 97. As it swings through Sunday night into Monday, there can be some thunderstorms around, but with more clouds around Monday, Temperature will likely stay below 90. Right now it's 76 at St. Peter, 79 at Florissant, and 79 with clouds downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Joe, thank you. Authorities east of Vancouver are still working around the clock to contain a growing wildfire that has forced around 20,000 people to flee their homes, including in Summerland, a rural community east of Vancouver. Aaron Fay says he and his family were forced to flee their Summerland farm several days ago and says it's been a difficult time for his community.
For us, it's been okay. And we did get word that our house survived. So that was a big relief for us. A lot of our neighbors didn't make it. Their homes are completely gone and they've got nothing to go back to.
Military and civilian investigators are on the scene of a deadly helicopter crash in central Texas. We get more from ABC's Jim Ryan.
The Apache attack helicopter was carrying 2 soldiers, both of whom were killed when the aircraft went down southeast of Fort Hood, where the Apache and the crew were based. It also sparked a wildfire that forced the evacuation of several homes and has burned about 155 acres of pasture and brushland.
Now, KMOX Sports from the St. Luke's Hospital Sports Desk. St. Luke's, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital.
Before the game yesterday, I had a chance to visit with one of baseball's good guys, as well as its co-leader in home runs with 35, Kyle Schwarber, on the field.
You know, that's the beautiful thing about our game is that there can be days that you feel like you do things right and you don't walk away with the win, and then there's days that you can come in and you feel like, holy cow, how did we walk away with the win? But it's always fun to come to the ballpark and feel like you have new challenges every single day.
And to see old friends. I noticed you were talking to Daniel Descalso and John Jay. You were teammates with both of them in Chicago.
Yeah, it's always great. You see a lot of your old teammates and just want to say hi and obviously, just have this conversation, say thank you. They were big parts of my career, even if they were only there for a year or two or whatever it is, that they were such great people, great leaders in our clubhouse, and to be able to just say hi to them and see how they're doing and see them doing their thing over here with these guys and feeling like they're still giving back to the game, because even when they were playing, they were still giving back to the game to all of us young guys in Chicago.
That is Kyle Schwarber, his Phillies team, fighting for a playoff spot in the National League. The Cardinals arrived yesterday and said, hey, we're still in this too. It's a 1-1 game in the 5th.
The runner at first base takes off. The pitch is swung out and lined into right center for a base hit, and the Cardinals lead. Prieto scores onto third. Weatherholt, and the RBI for Herrera, his 51st of the year. 2-1 Cardinals in the 5th inning.
Here comes Alec Burleson.
The pitch to Burleson. He swings and he hits it toward the gap. Center field. That's not going to be caught. The ball gets down, goes to the wall. Here comes a second run on the double by Burleson, with Weatherholt and Herrera scoring, as the Cardinals have built a 4-1 lead with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
A lot of discussion lately about how hard it is to hit a home run out of Busch Stadium. Who needs home runs? Here's Jordan Walker.
83 RBIs, and there's a line drive hit. That goes down the left field line to the wall, and it's a double for Jordan Walker, scoring Burleson, and the Cardinals have a 5-1 lead.
Cardinals won it 7-1, 5 strong innings to start the game for Kyle Leahy, and the bullpen finished from there. And the Cardinals look good. They're 2.5 out in the National League wildcard race. Most importantly, they've won 3 consecutive series. Let's listen in to Mike Claiborne's interview with Nathan Church.
Player of the game, we had so many of them today when your Cardinals win big, but Nathan Church, you had a big day. The RBIs are huge. You continue to swing the bat well. What's it like to be part of this team as well as you guys have been playing?
Yeah, it was a good game. Leahy threw a really good ball game. Bullpen did a good job, and offense put it on him, so it was a good game.
Yeah, the starting pitching has been terrific. You in center field, so you get a good look at what's been going on. What's been the difference?
He's just getting a lot of outs, and we're just scoring more runs, so it was a good game.
You have been consistent as far as your bat is concerned. You're going the other way a lot more. You're putting the ball in play. What has been the difference for you? Is it the fact that you're playing on a regular basis these days?
I think a lot of it's just trying to not do too much and just take a really good at bat and take it one pitch at a time.
You know, when I think of this young team, for whatever reason, I think of Nathan Church. It's just like a young guy who just climbed into the major leagues. You can hear him talking. Doesn't he sound young and just sort of inexperienced, but he's tough and he gets the job done, and the Cardinals are in this thing. They're a game over 500. Unexpected, but here they are, 2.5 games out of a wild card spot in the National League. They visit the Cubs tomorrow afternoon on KMOX. SLU women's soccer dropped its opener to Alabama. The breaking goal came in the 88th minute for the Crimson Tide, and they win it at Hermann Stadium. Ins and Outs sponsored by Innsbruck Resort, where every day is the weekend. Innsbruck's awesome. Great day to be out at Innsbruck. What, it's a hot day, you say? How about take a jump in one of those cold lakes? That'll change your tune quickly at Innsbruck. Great, just refreshing. Everything you do at Innsbruck turns to gold. Golf, fishing, some of the best fishing of my life has been at Innsbruck. And no doubt about it, it's a great place to gather with family and friends and have a good summer or fall or winter vacation. We've done a few days before Christmas vacation there, and it was awesome. Innsbruck-resort.com. Innsbruck-resort.com. Check them out online. See all the places you can stay and all the different things you can do at Innsbruck, which is right here in the St. Louis area, believe it or not, in Warren County. Now for the parlay of the day, it's sponsored by Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be. I'm not going to back off on my Brewers pick, even though the Brewers are starting to slip here in the National League Central, and the Cubs are almost catching them. They are 3 games out in this National League Central. But I think if you look at the future right now and you say, who is the team in the National League that could win this thing? I still think the Brewers at plus 825 are an excellent buy. I could see them knocking off the Dodgers in the NLCS. They got to get there first, but I absolutely could see it. Plus 825 for the Brewers, just if you're interested. Parlay of the day, sponsored by Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman. Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
7:51 and time for a check of your ride-in with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
No, it's busy out in the Westplex and downtown right now, Debbie. In the Westplex, we have this jam. It looks like a crash to me that's in the left lane, eastbound 70 at 64. That means only the right lane is open, so eastbound 70 is a solid jam back to about David Hokel Parkway. Southbound 61P, midway down to Wentzville Parkway. Looks like there's an incident there, and then it jams at Wentzville Parkway down to the 70-64 interchange. We had an earlier incident there. Southbound 79, a lot of volume. A lot of it's stop and go from Dyer Road pretty much all the way down to Hackman. Eastbound 70 is heavy from 94 all the way into 270. There's a crash. Westbound 70 at our city, the right lanes are blocked. That's jamming traffic back on the 270 ramps. The right lanes north 270 are bogged down at Dorset. Eastbound 64 delays through the Chesterfield Parkways and at the Interbelt. Westbound 64 McCausland and the Hanley's heavy. North 270 is slow. Tesson Ferry through Gravois. Big Bend up through Manchester, the busiest parts. Westbound 255, JB Bridge through Coke Road, still backed up because of an earlier incident. I can't see what lanes blocked, but we still have this crash downtown. Westbound at the Missouri end of the Poplar Street Bridge. It's jamming 64, midway between 111 and 25th Street. Route 3 is jammed at Monsanto. Next update is 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg says we are in this extreme heat warning through 9 p.m. Saturday. Real feels 110 each afternoon, high 94 today, low 79 tonight, and a high of 98 tomorrow. There is a chance of thunderstorms tonight We have seen some rain activity moving through here the last few hours. Certainly overnight, we got dumped on quite a bit. We see right now in O'Fallon and St. Charles, just to your north and northwest, some rain activity there. It's 7:53.
Salem, Missouri police say a suspect has been confirmed in a decade-old cold case. 81-year-old Rosalie Bird died in 2015 after a blunt force trauma to the head at her home in Salem. Police say the investigation remains active. The FBI is now involved. They say a suspect has been identified, but not yet apprehended.
PETA is suing Petland in Lake St. Louis for selling a puppy with a painful, debilitating brain defect. The lawsuit claims the store violated Missouri consumer laws by advertising healthy puppies while hiding severe genetic risks common in purebred dogs like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. The owner says she spent thousands on vet bills after her puppy developed a deformed skull and a severe parasitic infection, forcing her to surrender the dog when she could no longer afford his care.
Abandoned guinea pigs found in Lake St. Louis Sunday. O'Fallon police say someone dumped 4 guinea pigs along Highway N near Hawk Ridge Trail. They were in 2 plastic exercise balls. Unfortunately, 3 of the piggies died in the extreme heat. It was about 95 degrees on Sunday. The 4th was taken to a vet and is recovering. Police are urging anyone with information to call the O'Fallon Animal Control Office.
A legal battle between the city of Alton and its own mayor is on hold after a last-minute shakeup in court. The Riverbender reports a hearing in the lawsuit filed by Mayor David Goins against the city was scheduled for yesterday, but was postponed indefinitely after an attorney for the city requested a new judge. The dispute centers on a city council ordinance passed while the mayor was absent that wiped out his department appointments. A judge previously issued a temporary restraining order blocking the council from enforcing the rule while the case plays out.
City officials have announced they will not demolish an historic bank in St. Louis. It will be redeveloped. A spokeswoman for Mayor Kara Spencer announced this Tuesday. The almost 100-year-old Cass Bank and Trust building at the corner of 13th and Cass has been vacant for more than a decade and is now mostly a hangout for unhoused residents. The Post-Dispatch reporting the building's owner, developer Paul McKee, is bewildered by the city's change of heart, saying he's already hired a company to knock it down.
Brad Young has joined the party. He joins us next hour on Total Information AM. We'll tell you what he has in store. It's 7:56.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Celebrate the month of August with Zero Res and buy 2 rooms of carpet cleaned and get 2 rooms for free. Plus, take 20% off air duct services and products. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of the great savings.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Welcome back. It is Total Information AM on KMOX. Brad Young is in the house. And Brad, you have a full hour coming. What do you got coming up?
That's right, Tom. We've got a lot of stuff here coming up in the next hour. We're going to talk to Mike Bush on his retirement. We're going to talk about the Gary Sinise Foundation building a house for Officer TJ Brown. And we're also going to talk about Sam Page defying the St. Louis County Council, among other things.
All right. We look forward to it. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you.
Brad Young, part of the Total Information AM team.
Absolutely. A big part of our team. There's no doubt. And Roger Brand, take us to the top. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Alrighty, Tom. We still have our troubles downtown. I can't see again what lanes block, but we have a crash westbound at the Missouri end of the Poplar Street Bridge, westbound 5564 Missouri end of the bridge. So traffic is at a standstill on 64 all the way back to 37th Street. 5570's jammed at Exchange. Northbound Route 3 is a solid jam pretty much from Monsanto. A lot of folks have bailed out and took the King Bridge. It's a complete jam from the interstate all the way over to Landing. Eastbound 44 past that Landing area, the north leg of the arch is backed up as well. Out to the west, we've got this crash. Still blocking the left lane, eastbound 70 at 64. Eastbound 70 is backed up at David Holkel Parkway. Southbound 61 delays south of Highway P down to 70. Southbound 79 between Dyer and Hackman Roads is still pretty congested as well. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. More rain expected today in parts of the Midwest, already waterlogged after heavy floods. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
Water reaching the roofs of some homes, cars completely submerged. Many highways impassable. In Cambridge City, east of Indianapolis, one man clinging to a utility pole as he waited for rescue teams to reach him. Crews going door to door in Muncie, pulling people to safety. For many residents, they say the flooding happened with little warning.
2 soldiers killed in Texas when their Apache attack helicopter crashed near Fort Hood, setting off a brush fire. No word yet on why the chopper went down. Britain and France are in the midst of another heat wave. Forecasters in the UK say temperatures there could hit 100 degrees. Uncertainty about when there might be a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz is keeping oil prices up, and that's driving gas prices up again, too. Gas Buddy says national average for a gallon of regular $4.04. This is ABC News. 2 different stories on what happened between a Virginia woman and a federal immigration agent who pointed a gun at her head. Here's ABC's Dave Packer.
A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson calls Carolina Molina an agitator who tried to run over ICE agents in Falls Church, Virginia. But Molina says that's not what happened.
I decided to bring out my cell phone and record. And that is when it feels like the situation changed.
While she admitted hurling an insult at agents out of her car window, she says,
as an American citizen, I have a right to my First Amendment.
But she denied trying to run them over. Dave Packer, ABC News.
New York Attorney General Letitia James says the decision by Homeland Security to spend $20 million on electric shock gloves for ICE agents is cruel and possibly in violation of several laws. The gloves send a shock similar to a taser just by touching someone. DHS says they'll be used as a de-escalation device. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 8:02, a partly cloudy sky, 79 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Tom Ackerman, and these are the stories making news. 20 people were displaced this morning after an early morning apartment fire in Maplewood. The complex, located in the 2100 block of Bellevue, has been temporarily condemned due to extensive damage to the second and third floors and the roof. No serious injuries were reported, but the resident of the second-story unit where the fire started was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. St. Louis Public Schools continues to push back a vote on their consolidation plan. The school board was scheduled to vote on the Future Ready plan in August, but pushed a vote back to October following continued questions by parents and staff at recent community meetings. The Post-Dispatch reports the vote is now scheduled for October 13th. Another community feedback meeting will be held next Monday at 5 p.m. at Carr Lane VPA Middle School. Voters in Chesterfield will see a proposed 46-cent operating tax levy increase on the November ballot. The Parkway Board of Education voted unanimously yesterday for the increase, which the board says is needed to support the district's staff, classroom resources, and long-term financial stability. Parkway says the district's operating costs have risen faster than its revenue in the past 2 years, resulting in a projected $75 million funding shortfall over the next 10 years. The board's vote comes after months of community meetings and resident feedback on the increase. A bill aimed to help unhoused students in Illinois is turning heads across the river in Missouri. We get more from KMOX's Jade Aubrey.
A bill recently signed into law in Illinois allows schools to buy motels for homeless students if the price of the motel is less than the student's transportation costs. It comes as Illinois lawmakers say there's only a few temporary homeless shelters in the state, and they're usually located far from school districts, meaning transportation costs for these students can be high. I spoke with Kevin McKenna, acting director for the St. Louis County Department of Human Services, who says Missouri and St. Louis lack similar legislation, even with high populations of homeless families.
So what we've been doing is working very diligently with the City of St. Louis Department of Human Services, as well as House Everyone STL, which is a regional initiative, to try to pull our supports together and leverage as much resources as we can to help students and families throughout the region that are facing this issue.
McKenna said he hopes the passage of the bill in Illinois will inspire similar conversations in Missouri. Jade Aubrey, KMOX News.
The federal government is suing Washington University for firing an employee who complained about race segregation during a mandatory diversity training. The EEOC alleges WashU retaliated against Omega Thayer, who was a senior manager at Siteman Cancer Center, after she objected to being separated from her white colleagues during a university DEI session. The suit claims WashU stripped Thayer of her duties and eliminated her position after she filed a formal discrimination charge. A Cole County judge rules the Missouri redistricting referendum and a constitutional amendment limiting legislative power to alter laws passed by initiative will go to trial. The Missouri Independent reports Judge Daniel Green ordered the hearings after Secretary of State Denny Hoskins blocked them from a statewide vote. State law has a September 8th deadline for court orders adding questions to the ballot. Yesterday morning, we told you about AI infrastructure framework the Missouri House Future Caucus presented to local communities as a way to navigate the growing data center industry. An unlikely entity is listed as the author of the document.
First reported by KSDK, a check of the properties for the AI Infrastructure Community Evaluation Framework lists an unexpected entity as its author. OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, is listed as the author of the document presented by the Missouri House Futures Caucus to help localities navigate the infrastructure AI relies on. Future Caucus Chair Colin Wellenkamp was asked if AI was used to write this document. His response:
we used templates to give us a baseline framework, and then we added in the information that we got from our own testimony that we supervised. I can tell you this, I did not use any kind of AI tool.
He eventually wavered, saying no AI was used to his knowledge. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
There's been a settlement in the state of Missouri's lawsuit against Dollar General, which has been accused of overcharging customers and violating consumer protection laws. A state investigation found the price on the shelf and the actual price charged at the cash register were often different, with an average overcharge of $271. Investigators checked more than 5,000 items. Details of the settlement with the Nashville-based company were not released, but other states have settled similar investigations for as much as $1.7 million. A person in Illinois won the $1 billion Powerball jackpot last night. The winning ticket was sold in Quincy at a Hy-Vee gas station. Wednesday's drawing was the 44th consecutive drawing since the last jackpot win on May 2nd. It's the largest Powerball jackpot this year, the 8th largest in the game's history. The winner will have to decide between taking a payout of over 29 years or a lump sum of $450.5 million. Both the Missouri State Fair and the Illinois State Fair open today through August 23rd. Yesterday, the Illinois Butter Cow was unveiled in Springfield, featuring a cow, a girl eating ice cream, and a dog on a scooter heading out on Route 66. This year's theme is Illinois Miles of Smiles, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Route 66. We'll check traffic here in St. Louis with Roger Brand next. It's 8:08.
For over 25 years, Styles Clothing Company has been serving the St. Louis community, and we're just getting started. Custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items for sports team uniforms, schools, companies, family reunions, and events. Quality products and service guaranteed. We want to thank all of our customers. Call now and mention you heard this commercial on this station for 15% off all month long this August. Styles Clothing Company. Call 314-831-6559. That's 314-831-6559 or visit stylesclothing.com.
Hey, this is Kevin Wheeler, and I want to tell you about Burn Balance Complex, which you can pick up at Supplement Superstores, and you can find a location at supplementsuperstores.com. But Burn Balance Complex is different, okay? It's a game changer. It is a complete all-natural metabolism system. It's not just a fat burner. If you're someone that doesn't want to get a prescription, if you don't want to go get injections, Burn Balance Complex can get your metabolism rocking the way that it's supposed to, and you notice it really early on because you start to notice clothes are fitting a little differently. You're seeing results, which then kind of gives you motivation to keep on going, right? Well, on top of the metabolism boost, you're also going to notice reduced stress with lower cortisol levels, appetite and craving control, which is absolutely critical to staying on a plan, plus all-day focused energy, no jitters, no crash at the end of the day. And look, it's not magic. You got to do the work, but Burn Balance Complex has made that work so much easier for me. It'll do the same for you. So get out to Supplement Superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They'll knock 30% off right then and there, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Summer is officially here, and that means the family internet, it is working overtime. All our lives are always online, and that's why I rely on i3 broadband. Traditional cable just can't keep up, but i3 delivers 100% true fiber directly into my home for ultra smooth, reliable performance. Plus, they're a local provider that actually treats you like a neighbor. Skip the fake fiber. Head over to i3broadband.com/radio today or call 866-806-5485 to upgrade because life runs better on fiber, and i3 broadband is here for you.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
Let's check in with Roger Brand, see what's going on in the traffic out there.
Well, Brad, we still got this crash on eastbound 70 out in Wentzville. It's eastbound 70 at 64. The left lane's blocked. There is a flatbed tow truck on the scene now, but only the right lane getting through, and it's a solid jam back at David Hochul Parkway on eastbound 70 currently. Southbound 61, midway down from P through Wentzville Parkway to 70 is heavy. Southbound 79, not as bad, but you've still got some heavier traffic coming down from, I guess about Dalbo Road, most of the way down through Hackman Road, a little better than it was earlier. Eastbound 70 is a little busy, 90 or 5th Street to the Blanchette Bridge in our city into 270 after that. If you're coming in on eastbound 64, slow stuff McKnight into Big Bend. Westbound 64, Clayton Skinker through Big Bend's heavy. North 270, 44 up to Manchester. There's a couple of slow spots. And then downtown's our other trouble spot with this crash westbound at the Missouri end of the Poplar Street Bridge. Westbound 64 is at a standstill at 37th Street. 5570 is backed up west to 203. Northbound 3 is at Monsanto. Kingbridge is still jammed from the interstate all the way over to the landing. And even eastbound 64 approaching 3rd Street on the 5570 is backed up due to road work at Exchange. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Checking the AccuWeather forecast.
AccuWeather, the extreme heat warning has been extended through 9 p.m. Saturday with AccuWeather real field temperatures as high as 105 to 110 each afternoon through the weekend. For today, intervals of clouds and sun, hot and humid. There can be a thunderstorm or two in the area mainly this morning, or high 94. Partly cloudy, warm, and very humid tonight with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots, the low 79. For tomorrow, more sun than clouds, very hot and humid, high 98. Saturday, mostly sunny, quite hot, and humid, high 99. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, it's currently about 82, 83 degrees out there right now, but it's going to get a lot hotter today, so drink lots of water. As you heard Tom Ackerman say just a few minutes ago, the Parkway School District is going to be asking for an increase in revenue this November on the November ballot. Good morning, Brad Young, sitting in this morning for Megan Lynch. And essentially, Parkway School District says that they've got a structural operating deficit. And what they proposed, and this is what I wanted to figure out and to give you this morning, because when you hear that there's going to be a tax increase, for example, this is going to be approximately 46 cents out of every $100 of assessed valuation. What does that really mean for your pocketbook? How can you vote on something unless you know what exactly it's going to cost you? So I did some quick math and found out that for every $100,000 of your property, if you're in the Parkway School District, one of the largest school districts in the St. Louis region, for every $100,000, that's going to amount to about $87 per year or $7 per month. If you have a home that's worth $400,000, that's going to raise that up to about $349 or $29 per month. And here's the reason why I wanted to talk about this morning, because think about every time that you hear a school district asking for money. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first thing? Because I'm not suggesting that the Parkway School District doesn't need this money. I mean, we all know expenses are going up, fuel costs are going up, salaries are going up. That's what inflation is. But what always tends to rub me the wrong way is that when school districts are asking for additional money, what do? They typically say, if we don't get this tax increase, the first thing we're going to do is to lay off the teachers. Now, I haven't heard Parkway do that in this particular instance, but we've all heard school districts take that position in the past. And while certainly personnel costs are always the greatest cost of any operation, it always seems to me to be a little bit disingenuous when a school district says, if you don't vote for this tax increase, we're going to have to lay off teachers. Why does that seem disingenuous? I think it's because of this, that teachers laid off. Those are the teachers who help your kids, who not just teach them, but are there for them, that help them to deal with the changes that are going on all around us at light speed. So we don't want to lose those teachers. We develop relationships with those teachers. And yet I always feel like slightly I'm being manipulated. And I know that you do too. When a school district comes out and says, vote for this, or we're going to have to lay off teachers. Because you never hear a threat of, if you don't vote for this, we're going to have to lay off school administrators. We're going to have to lay off the bureaucrats of the school district if you don't vote for this. Why do they not say that? Because who would then vote for the tax, right? So I'm always a little bit leery when it comes to being manipulated. And in this particular instance, it seems to me that oftentimes we are being manipulated. Now, as I looked into this in more depth, Parkway actually has described a very plausible long-term problem. And it's not that they have a deficit right now. Currently, Parkway School District is doing quite well. Revenue stream need to be 10 years from now. And so a forecasted deficit is not the same as a present financial emergency. In addition to being and having a balanced budget, they also have a AAA credit rating. They have substantial reserves. And so the issue is not that the school district is failing at the present time. The issue is, how do we deal with a revenue stream going 10 years forward? So as you evaluate whether or not if you're in the Parkway School District, and as many of our listeners are, as you evaluate that cause, that request to pay more taxes, that's why I gave some of those numbers, just to show you what this actually costs out of your pocket. And if you have a home that's worth $300,000, that's going to cost you approximately $21 a month if you vote for that. Is that a lot? Is that not a lot? Obviously, everyone's budget is different. But when you go to the store, you see the price and you know what you're going to buy because the price is marked. And yet when we're asked to vote for these tax increases, telling us that there's a 46 cents of an assessment on every $100 of assessed valuation on your home or property, that doesn't tell me anything about what it costs us. And so I wanted this morning to spend just a couple of minutes to break down what those numbers are so that you too can be an informed voter. And also next time, I want you to listen. And again, Parkway has not done that in this instance. But the next time you hear a school district asking for a tax increase, I want you to listen. I want you to listen to hear and to see if they're going to threaten the firing of teachers, because I don't like to be manipulated. You don't like to be manipulated. I would much rather see what like the Parkway School District saying, here's our cash flow, here's where we are, we're doing great, but we need this for 10 years. To me, that is ideal in terms of the way to pitch this. But if you hear a school district threatening to lay off teachers if you don't vote for them, remember, it sounds like you're being manipulated. Hey,
when was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry. Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos. We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever. It's fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box. New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Let's check back in with Roger Brand and, as you well know, the Overhead Door Company Traffic Center.
Well, Brad, we still have this crash out west. They're getting close to wrapping it up, though. This traffic reports a service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. It's eastbound 70 right at 64. Left lane still blocked for the next couple of minutes anyway, but I think they'll open it up very soon. It's still a solid jam eastbound 70 back at David Hokel Parkway. Southbound 61, Wensville Parkway down to 64 and 70, still kind of busy. Eastbound 70, Earth City into 270 is slow. Eastbound 64, McKnight to Big Bend, you've got delays. Northbound 270 is still busy from Big Bend up through Manchester and then Clayton Road up to 64 after that. Northbound Telegraph, Christopher up through Baumgartner's Jam. And it looks like they cleared the crash downtown on the Poplar Street Bridge as well. But it's still a solid jam westbound 64, 37th Street onto the bridge. It opens up as you get on the bridge. 5570's jam at Exchange. And northbound Route 3 is backed up at Monsanto. Eastbound 64, 3rd Street onto 5570 at Exchange. You got roadwork delays as well. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And checking that AccuWeather forecast. Hey, look, we all know it's hot. Currently, it's 82 degrees, but there is an extreme heat warning in effect through Saturday evening at 9 p.m., so let's be careful out there. Today, we're looking at a high of about 94, but the heat index will take it considerably over 100 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy and warm, very humid, with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots, low of 79. And any thunderstorm today and tonight can produce flooding, downpours, and localized damaging wind gusts. So let's be careful out there. We've got more TIAM next here on KMOX.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Tom Ackerman here. You know, here's the thing about estate planning, and I hear this a lot, is, yeah, I have an estate plan. I think I do. Or we did that years ago, but we've been meaning to look at it again. And honestly, that is the problem. Estate plans should not be one and done. Most plans don't fail because people don't care. They fail because life changes and the plan doesn't keep up. At Laderman Law Firm, it isn't just paperwork. It is an ongoing process. They build your estate plan to protect your family and your property, and then for a fixed annual fee, they actually help maintain it so it stays aligned with the changes in your life, your assets, and the law. That is a big reason why We have stayed with Laterman Law Firm all these years. If you're in the St. Louis metro area, including Illinois, and you want an estate plan that actually works, call the Laterman Law Firm at latermanlaw.com or 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Welcome back to Total Information AM. Brad Young sitting in this morning for Megan Lynch. And as you heard at the top of the hour, Sam Page seats 2 police board appointees without an affirmative council vote. But is he legally allowed to do that? So on yesterday, August 12, the St. Louis County Board of Police Commissioners swore in attorneys Beth McCarter and Johnny Wang to take the seats held by Brian Ashworth and Thomasina Hassler. But here's what's interesting. The county council had not yet voted to either approve or reject the appointments. So Page submitted the names of these folks in late June. And here the timing is very important to understand exactly what's going on here, because his office, Sam Page's office, is relying on a general county charter provision that governs executive appointments. And it gives the council 30 days after receiving notice to confirm or deny an appointment. If the council does neither, its opportunity to act lapses and the appointment is deemed confirmed. So in this instance, that's the issue. Did the county council actually act within the time frame specified? Because in a different section of the county charter, it says that appointments become effective 20 days after approval unless a majority of county circuit judges disprove it before then. So that really leaves a couple of questions here. If you're shaking your head about all these different days and timing, me too. And that's why I wanted to dive into this story. So did the council's silence, does that count as confirmation of these 2 appointments? And if so, do these folks get to actually be seated on the county police board? And that's going to be an issue. Of course, these types of things get litigated. Lots of lawsuits going on out there today. And this is probably going to be one of them, because it's no secret. It's no secret at all that there is enormous contention between Sam Page and the county council. But let me break this down for you, because I've looked exactly at the county charter, and Section 3 of our county charter in St. Louis County directly supports Page's argument. It covers appointments to boards and commissions and says if the county council doesn't do anything in 30 days, it results in a confirmation of the appointment. But as with everything, there's always a little bit of a distinction here, because even if that the appointments are deemed confirmed, does that mean that those individuals can actually be serving on the board immediately? And the answer to that question is no, because there's a separate 20-day period of approval after the appointment becomes effective. So what does all this mean? What it means is that in St. Louis County right now, we have defective county government. We have a county executive and a county council that simply can't get along. And so when you have these politicians that are not working with each other, then you get situations like this. Is Sam Page correct that he can appoint these individuals? I believe he is. But the county council is also correct that they can't actually start serving for another 20 days. That dysfunction in government is what creates so many problems that we have to deal with when it comes to dysfunctional government. Time check, it is 8:27 for your Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning time check right here on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hi, it's Margaret from Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. I've worked with Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano for more than 30 years. Their guidance and assistance with my estate planning and legal documents gives me the peace of mind that I have the retirement I've worked for and always dreamed of. And I'm playing it fully with my grandchildren, volunteering, and traveling worldwide. I play confidently knowing my estate is secured in any event. You can get your estate secured with Eamon Gantner and Capriano too. Visit their website, yourestatemasters.com, and download their free webinar on how to get started. Then make a free appointment. Your estate matters because you matter. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, yourestatemasters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be made solely on advertising.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
St. Louis isn't just where we play, it's who we are. When the Cardinals take on the Pirates on Friday, August 28th, fans 21 and older can take home an exclusive City Connect quarter zip pullover presented by Budweiser. Inspired by the city we love, this new addition to the City Connect collection is the perfect way to show off your Cardinals pride. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Alec Burleson. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
The hottest accessory at Busch Stadium this season is yours on Saturday, August 29th, when the Cardinals host the Pirates. That day, fans will take home a stylish, stadium-approved Cardinals purse, courtesy of Edward Jones. From the ballpark to brunch, this is the on-the-go purse you'll be reaching for all season long. And there's only one place to get it, at Busch Stadium on August 29th. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotion.
Well, let's check back in with Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company Traffic Center. Roger, what's going on out there?
Well, we still got a few jams, Brad, from recent crashes, but they are getting better. This traffic reports the service of S&L Coins. They cleared that crash eastbound 70 at 64. Eastbound 70, though, still jammed David Hochul into Wentzville Parkway. Then it's opening up after that. Downtown, they cleared that crash westbound 64 on the Poplar Street Bridge. Traffic still a solid jam on 64, 37th Street to the 70 split, and then it's slow all the way on to and across the Poplar. That means 5570 still backed up at Exchange, making that merge on as well. Route 3, closer to 8th Street now, north of Monsanto up to the bridge. There's still a backup there. Northbound 270, a little busy north of Manchester. Eastbound 64, McKnight to Big Bend is kind of slow. South 170 just kind of busy at Brentwood Boulevard, other than those other delays I already mentioned. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And check again on the Saliga Heating and Cooling weather desk. It's about 83 degrees right now, but listen, it's going to get hot. You know it. I know it. We all know it. So remember that there's an extreme heat warning that remains in effect through 9 p.m. on Saturday. Today, it's going to be a high of about 94, but that humidity and the heat index, it's going to take it close to 100, if not higher. Tonight, though, partly cloudy and warm, very humid, with a thunderstorm in one or two spots, low of 79 degrees.
S&L Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call S&L. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. S&L Coin.
Brad Young sitting in this morning for Megan Lynch. And as you've probably heard, this is an amazing story. It's a story that helps someone who is literally in the worst position imaginable. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Ferguson Officer Travis T.J. Brown. You know the story. He was injured 2 years ago in August 9 of 2024 outside of the Ferguson Police Department. He was impacted by Elijah Gant, who was fleeing the scene. And T.J. Brown, Officer T.J. Brown, he was there trying to protect the police station, trying to calm the riots that were occurring. And he paid for that, not with his life, but with the rest of his life. because he's now disabled forever. Why am I mentioning this? Well, because the Gary Sinise Foundation stepped up. I actually talked to the Gary Sinise Foundation yesterday about this, and it's truly an amazing story because the Gary Sinise Foundation has stayed in contact with Officer Brown and his family since the initial treatment at St. Louis University Hospital. They were that quick. I mean, the moment this happened, the Gary Sinise Foundation reached out and said, at some point, we're going to take care of you. Now, think about what does that mean for the family? Because TJ Brown is going to be in a wheelchair probably the rest of his life. He's the latest we've seen on therapy is that he is starting to walk. He's starting to become more maneuverable. But now the Gary Sinise Foundation is going to provide a completely handicap accessible house. It's going to have wide doors, wide hallways. It's going to be a smart home that will control itself digitally. It's going to allow him to live as much of a normal life as can be done when you're in the situation that he's in. God bless the Gary Sinise Foundation, not a paid spot. They're not paying me anything, but I wanted to highlight that for you because it's always nice to know when our injured police officers are being taken care of.
Chris Ranchi and Amy Markscours connect you with the people, places, and conversations that bring our community together.
And now you get to hear about poo-poo in a box from a firefighter.
No, come on.
The hammerhead worm. And you get to hear about car fires.
And sinkholes.
And sinkholes. I love our newsroom. I think they're doing a great job.
From neighborhood happenings to local heroes, from everyday challenges to unforgettable stories. Chris and Amy, weekdays from 9 to noon on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference.
Hey, it's time for the morning check-in with Bloomberg News.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. More evidence that rating is reinforcing bets the Federal Reserve will refrain from raising rates next month. The producer price index rose 4.7% from a year ago after a 5.5% annual increase in June. Month over month, wholesale inflation was little change. This, along with yesterday's inline consumer price data, may give the Fed more room to weigh inflation pressures against a recent slowdown in hiring. Stocks are looking at back-to-back gains a day after the S&P 500 closed at a striking distance of its all-time highs. And Google introduced its latest smartphone lineup, bringing subtle hardware and design improvements. Its Pixel 11 phones usher in some genuine innovations, including a highlight feature that transforms the camera flash into a more useful notification indicator, along with more practical upgrades like improved scratch resistance and brighter displays. Starting prices are $100 higher compared with last year's devices. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Bloomberg Money Report is brought to you by Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, elder law attorneys.
It's Tom Ackerman for the great company, Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. 1926, a century of service. Here's to the garage door, the largest piece of moving equipment in our home. The garage door, sometimes we take it for granted. It goes up, it goes down. You just rely on it every single day to do what it does. Well, what if it doesn't someday? That would be a problem. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis will keep your garage door reliable by checking it out. Just get it tuned up, make sure that it's running smoothly, and they can do it for any brand of garage door. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis We'll take care of that for you. Same day service, too. 314-781-5200. 314-781-5200. And don't be fooled by the imposters out there. There's only one Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the one with the red ribbon. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
I'm with Mark Cantor of Cantor Injury Law. And Mark, why is it so important for you to be a local law firm?
Well, being local means more than just advertising here, more than just a billboard on the highway. It means showing up here. It means supporting local events and local charities.
But why is local so important?
It's important because we know the law, we know the judges, we know the roads, and we understand the community.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
You can count on Cantor. Visit CantorInjuryLaw.com.
Tired of your phone bill constantly going up? Stop the madness with Boost Mobile. Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month. No contracts, no catches. And that $25 price is locked in forever. Switch to Boost Mobile today.
Let's check back in with...
I'm Debbie Monterrey in the newsroom, and these are some of the stories we're following for you. 20 people were displaced this morning after an early morning apartment fire in Maplewood. The biggest obstacles to President Trump's order on vaccines may be logistical challenges. Trump calling for separating childhood vaccines, but accomplishing that would require vaccine makers to revive individual shots that haven't been marketed in the U.S. for decades. And it would require extra trips to the doctor for families. Europe sweltering again. Britain and France experiencing their fifth heat wave of the summer. Temperatures could reach 104 degrees today in France. More news at the top of the hour.
You know the sound. It's time to check in with Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company Traffic Center.
Well, Brad, we have a new crash. It looks like a flatbed just pulled up. The left lane shut down. It's in the construction zone. It's eastbound 70, just a little west of Wright City. Traffic's jammed back pretty close to the Wright City rest area. If you're heading that way, east of there, it's opened up coming in through Wentzville Parkway from the earlier crash. Southbound 61, still delays, backed up from Wentzville Parkway down onto that eastbound 70 ramp. Once you hit eastbound 70, you're good to go. Eastbound 64, just slow. McKnight through to Big Bend. South 170 bogs down at Ladue. North 270, Manchester up to Clayton Road, overpass a little slow. Northbound Telegraph, Christopher up through Baumgartner's backed up. We still have the jam downtown from the earlier crash on the Poplar. Westbound 64, stop and go pockets from almost 111 across to the Missouri side of the bridge. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by USPS Ground Advantage.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Pump up the volume. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Mike Bush. He's been a Channel 5 mainstay for 4 decades, and he's signing off after anchoring tonight's 6 p.m. news. His final 10 p.m. newscast was last night. But this morning, our own Michael Calhoun sat down for an exit interview with the man whose career has been about bringing people together, first through sports and laughter, and then through heart and knowledge. Here's Mike Bush.
I'm sure you were very busy, so thank you for taking the time to do this.
It's my pleasure, Michael.
How are you feeling?
It's just a very weird feeling and very bittersweet.
When you first came to St. Louis, were you thinking this is a city and a station, a newsroom where I can, put down roots and settle down? Or were you thinking, heck, Janice Huff just came through here and went to WNBC. Maybe I can follow her.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, my first job was in Tucson, Arizona, and then I went to New Orleans, and then I went to Kansas City, and then to St. Louis, and that was all in about 5 or 6 years. So I just thought this would be another stop because back then the idea was to go up in markets in order for you to make a living. And I mean, my first job in Tucson, Arizona was for $8,500 a year. So you tried to make your way up so you could, support a family and that kind of thing. And so when I first got to St. Louis, I didn't know. I remember distinctly July 8th, 1985, I'm driving to work on Highway 40, headed to downtown, wondering how long this would last. And 41 years later, I'm still here.
I can remember watching with my dad during your big transition, and I always thought it was so cool how you would walk from the anchor desk through the cameras to the Sports Plus set.
Yeah.
What was it like? What led to the transition from sports to news? What was that like for you?
I had been asked to move to news in the late 90s, and I thought, why would I want to do that? We were having such a good time in sports. Again, back then we had a big sports staff. It was me, and it was Frank Cusimano, and we had Trey Wingo in there, and Malcolm Briggs, and we had a couple of producers, and we were putting on our Sports Plus show, which at that time was an hour long. And when you were doing sports back then and you had reasonable success, you had a lot of autonomy. Like we could make decisions, but on our content, whatever we decided, as long as it didn't cost too much. That was a lot of fun, and I was having a good time doing it, and I had no desire to go into news. And then 9/11 happened, and we probably didn't do sports for about a week, and I was trying to help the news department in any way I could. And when they asked me again, I started thinking about all the stories that I might be able to tell, coming from a different angle besides sports, and that's when I said yes. So I think the opportunity to tell all different kinds of stories and meet all kinds of different people was something that I wanted to take on, and I'm glad I did.
What is it like in this era? People have so much mistrust of not just the media, but institutions in general. Talking with people of different political persuasions, backgrounds, you might be the most trusted person in St. Louis. And do you think maybe that background in sports, people thought of you as a friend, and so when you made the transition, they thought he's going to be a straight shooter with me?
Well, I don't think it's me. I do think it's local news. I have never once been in an editorial meeting. So every day at 2:30 in the afternoon, we have an editorial meeting about what's going to be on our newscast that day at 10 o'clock. And never once has anybody said, well, we need to lean this way or we need to lean that way. The entire job of everybody who is sitting in that editorial meeting is we're focused on the viewers and getting them the facts and getting facts and getting it right. Getting to the truth is hard work. That requires oftentimes research. It requires talking to more than just one person to get your story. But in local news, that's our responsibility. Our responsibility is to the viewer. Our opinion does not matter. What you want to do is present the story to the viewer so they can make up their own mind. And at least here at KSDK, but I do think this is something that goes on all over the country in local news. We care about the local viewers. We live in our towns, and we just want the viewers to get, important information, but to get both sides of that information and get to the truth.
As a kid, we went to the opening of a mercantile bank on Manchester Road, and they had a hot dog stand out there. And my dad said, these hot dogs are not nearly as good as the place that was in this building before the bank, which was Mike Bush's hot dog zone.
Yeah.
What's the story behind
Well, no, it was all my brother. So my brother, Rob, for some reason, he thought maybe it would help just, get the place off the ground if he named it after me. I'm not sure that helped at all, but so he had that place, the Mike Bush hot dog zone, for, a very short time. But it was a lot of fun while it was here. And I remember we did a radio show there when I was working with J.C. Corcoran on his morning radio show, and we did it there. And my brother really loved it because people were coming to see the radio station and the customers were coming in. That was a big day for him.
Well, what is next for you? Might it be, speaking of nostalgia, might it be some sports in my shorts morning radio hits, or what would you like to do now?
So one of the reasons that I've made this decision at this time is, when you talk about the news every single night, you have to report on the news every single night. It's a lot of murder and mayhem. For many, many years, I was able to compartmentalize that. As I've gotten a little older, I've had a harder time letting it go when I get home. It often keeps me up at night. That terrible story that we had just a week or two ago about the couple that ended up in Guatemala when the husband was deported and they were ended up murdered. And I just really had a hard time dealing with that, and it just stayed in my head how awful that was. And so one of the things I did early on when I became a news anchor was focus on the positive, try to shine a light on people who were making a difference in the community. And so what I want my next chapter to be is that I want to focus on the positive in St. Louis. I'll continue to do the Musial Awards, which also focuses on sportsmanship and kindness. I'm going to do occasional Making a Difference reports still for Channel 5. I won't be on the anchor desk, but I'll occasionally show up, doing that. And then we'll see what else, how I'm not quite sure how that will manifest itself. I have a couple of ideas that, I just haven't worked out yet. And I will say this, I wanted to be a broadcaster since I was 5 years old. It never changed. I never said, oh, maybe I'll be an accountant or maybe I'll be this or that. I always wanted to be a broadcaster, and I've gotten to live it for 50 years, and I still want to do it. It's not that I want to, retire to a rocking chair. So I'll have a much more flexible schedule. I'll spend a little bit more time with my family and my grandkids and try to enjoy that. But I will hopefully continue to tell stories but focus on the positive and trying to shine a light on these ordinary people who do extraordinary things in helping mankind.
Karen and Mike and watching Channel 5, Art and Jennifer in the morning. I mean, that is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Well,
today.
I mean, the fact that we were some kind of inspiration is, I think that's great. And you do a fantastic job. And so I'm very pleased that we meant something to you.
And that's our Michael Calhoun with Mike Bush, whose last newscast is at 6 p.m. tonight.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm in the air conditioning business. I don't advertise that much. I was leaving a customer's home and I was out in Illinois, and then as I was driving away, my fan for my air conditioner went out. I had to cross back over into St. Louis where there was bridge construction, so massive rush hour, backed up traffic, windows down, sweating. I had to take it straight to the dealership to drop it off because there's no way I can function, much less work, without air conditioning in my truck. And I'm the same way in my house, and every homeowner, not every homeowner, but most homeowners are the exact same way. So if you're experiencing difficulties with your air conditioner, meaning you have none, call me, Bart Inman, and it's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, Missouri and Illinois. Call me. God bless.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
As you probably heard yesterday, Congressman Wesley Bell, he delivered a $1.25 million check. You know, one of those great big checks like Ed McMahon used to give away. He had one of those checks that he presented to the city of St. Louis, and it was federal money, and it's going to go for some bridge work, a road project, fire and EMS training upgrades, and for redevelopment of the South Riverfront. Is that a good thing? Of course it is. But here's what caught my eye and the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this morning, because in Wesley Bell's statement, he stated that this money, and the city officials echoed Congressman Bell's statement when he said that this is a start of a plan to help bring businesses back to the city of St. Louis and to increase population. Now, don't get me wrong, having a $1.25 million check to go towards these projects, that's a great thing. And I'm not going to diminish that, and I'm not going to snicker at it because it's comparatively not a lot of money. But the real issue is, and if you think about it right now, I have either lived or worked in the city for 4 decades, and I love St. Louis. I chose to live here. And yet we can all be honest and to say that the reality is what keeps people from moving to the city of St. Louis and what keeps businesses from locating to the city of St. Louis is 2 things. Number 1, crime, or number 2, the perception of crime. Now, why is that an important distinction? Because if you look at the crime numbers in the city of St. Louis, they're actually going down. They're trending down. Overall crime in the city fell 15% in 2024 from 2023. There was a 16% decline in 2025 from 2024, and a 28% decline from 2023 when you talk about all crime. And the St. Louis Metropolitan Police also stated that in 2025, there were 141 homicides, and that is a 12-year low and about 7% below 2024. Robbery is down, aggravated assault is down, burglary is down, sexual assault is down, shooting incidents are down. But even with all of that, is it the crime that's a problem, or is it the perception of crime? Washington University did a survey last week, and they found that crime, or the perception of crime, remains the most frequently selected challenge for a 3rd straight year. Now, that number was also slightly down, but it's still the number 1 concern that people have about the city of St. Louis. Why do I mention that? Because the police board has recommended an additional $68 million in funding for the St. Louis police, but Mayor Kara Spencer says no. The Board of Aldermen says no. And that really goes against what has to happen for the city of St. Louis to grow. Stick around for Chris and Amy coming up next on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Health Trends, sponsored by Ethos.
To push through your next tough workout, turn up the volume. A study from the University of Uvascula in